for those of you guys that don't know, right, the biggest thing about Rondo is that they have those 3 tall towers, Nepura, and that just changes the whole dynamic of how this tournament starts, right?
I love the idea that we have recalls in one map in Rondo, and Rondo is the one that we want here for sure, because I think the recall splits are going to be super interesting for these teams, because you have different strategies you can use, and that's how you adapt to the strategy. Different teams do different things, so it's really, really cool. So I'm excited to see what we.
Representing Turkey.
So hey guys, what's up? Assalamualaikum. I hope everyone doing well. Once again I am back with another live streaming के साथ. But आज Bgmi नहीं खेलेंगे guys. आज करने वाले अपन वॉच पार्टी, वो भी PMGC की. PMGC ग्लोबल चैंपियंस की वॉच पार्टी करने वाले हैं गाइस. 2025 गाउंटलेट का डे 1 है गाइस आज. एंड जैसे कि बता दूँ आप लोगों के, अपने कंट्री की एक टीम जिसका नाम है OG ओरंगुटान गेमिंग, ये भी गॉन्टलेट के लिए क्वालिफाई हुई थी. और एक टीम और है जो ग्रुप स्टेज खेलने वाली है, ट्रू रिपर जेरी भाई की टीम. और आज OG बे, सब लोग OG कर दो फटफट. लेट्स गो. अभी एंट्री चालू है सब टीम की एंट्री चालू है.
Mad Bulls from Central Asia.
फटफट अपने कंट्री की टीम को फटफट सपोर्ट करो आप लोग. ओके एंड
From Saudi Arabia, GK Esports. Aiku Orangutan from India.
ओ ये OG is coming guys. OG की एंट्री होती हुई. प्राउड ऑफ यू गाइस, प्राउड ऑफ यू. एक बार सब लोग फट चैट पे इंडियन फ्लैग कर दो बे. ओरंगुटान गेमिंग फ्रॉम इंडिया, लेट्स गो. प्राउड ऑफ यू गाइस. आतंकी भाई, विजगॉड भाई, आरू भाई और AKOP, लेट्स गो.
Iorina from Thailand.
भाई सपोर्ट दिखाओ बे अपने लोंडो को, फटफट चलो. वॉच पार्टी करने वाले बे, वॉच पार्टी, लेट्स गो.
Reigning champions of PMSL Southeast Asia Ball Split. DX Xavier, Vietnam.
लेट्स गो लोंडो, शाबाश.
RA Esports from Saudi Arabia.
आरिट की एंट्री होती हुई. बाय द वे गाइस, 6 मैचेस है बैक टू बैक. फर्स्ट मैच है रोंडो, सेकंड मैच है रेंगल, थर्ड मैच है रेंगल, फोर्थ मैच है रेंगल, फिफ्थ मैच है मिरामार और सिक्स्थ मैच है मिरामार. तो ऐसे आज का शेड्यूल है. 6 मैच बैक टू बैक होने वाले हैं और पूरा सपोर्ट अपने टीम को करने का है गाइस. OG को. APG भी बहुत अच्छी टीम है गाइस.
From USA,
ये वुल्स है ना, आई थिंक. हाँ वुल्स, हाँ ये लोग भी अच्छा खेलते हैं.
America's Ball Split champions.
आई थिंक 420 कभी 4:30 का आई थिंक वो है
The
मैच
champions
स्टार्ट
of
टाइमिंग.
CSA Ball Split.
वंपायर स्पोर्ट्स.
From Central Asia.
इनको आई थिंक सो गाइस इनवाइट है क्योंकि होस्ट कंट्री है थाईलैंड, थाईलैंड से बिलोंग करती है।
GS team from Iraq.
गाइस लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलिएगा। डोंट फॉरगेट प्रेस द बेल आइकॉन। नो पेड प्रमोशन, स्पॉन्सरशिप को गाइस इन लोग ने टेप मारा है, सही है।
Representing Turkey.
कारा स्पोर्ट्स, दिस टीम बिलोंग्स टू तुर्की आई थिंक, तुर्की से ही बिलोंग करने वाली है। PMGC PUBG मोबाइल ग्लोबल चैंपियंस 2025, लेट्स गो।
Regnum Korea Esports from
वन मोर
Turkey.
टिमारी जी, ये भी अच्छा खेलती है भाई, ये भी तुर्की से बिलोंग करने वाली टीम है। तुर्की बाय द वे। ये फर्स्ट वाला जो है वो आई थिंक सो IGL है।
Straight from Brazil.
Alpha 7.
Alpha 7 Esports.
ब्राजील की कंट्री है गाइस। ये लोग भी अच्छा खेलते हैं, बहुत अच्छा खेलते हैं। चैंपियन टीम है भाई, PMWC की चैंपियन टीम थी। कार्लो आई थिंक। ये
From
वो
Mongolia. Alpha Gaming.
APG, लेट्स गो। टॉप ऑर्डर जियोल और एक और इन लोग में सबसे स्ट्रॉन्ग टीम यही है गाइस। अल्फा 7, डॉग, जियोल, टॉप और एक है नाम नहीं
These
आ
are the
रहा।
elite squads that will be battling across 3 days in the Gauntlet. Only 7 teams will punch their
Korea,
tickets straight to the
Korea.
grand finals. So let's
Sorry,
get
Mongolia.
right into it. This is day 1 of the 2025 PUBG Mobile Global Championship. The Gauntlet
Let's go,
starts
Londo.
now.
Well, there they are. We see them ready to go, man. Live in Bangkok, Thailand, man. This is so great. We talked a little bit about some of the
क्या
squads
host
that
है
we got
बे?
looking at right here, right? One thing in particular that I think that is so awesome here about PMGC.
Panelist किधर बैठे हैं बे?
There's a
लोग को full
particular
phone
region
वाला
that
system
we
दिया है।
haven't seen in such a long time, right? And that is India, baby. They are back, right? We got Orangutan joining the field, Neptura.
Bangkok, Thailand, baby.
I do.
ये कुछ फीचर्स रोंडो के रिकॉल सिस्टम है, 2 फ्लाइट रूट्स है,
This team has the most
Tyrian destructions है, emergency cover flare है, EMP zone है, F-29 ये सब है।
Seen from other global teams right at the global stage. That is fair. But the way they play,
Where is our
they're
country?
mobile,
Where?
they're optimistic, they split, they use their vehicles to get any information. They third party as much as possible. They regroup really quickly. Like, this is a team that is very smart, and I think when you have that kind of skill level to pair with that, this is exactly what you need. This is all the elements of what you need in a team that will compete against global teams effectively.
Casters, Sean Allen and Blank.
Correct you guys. It's not
Sean Allen and Blank.
It's Team India.
They both are casters.
That's what they're going by
Yes.
here in PMGC. And actually, we had a little graphic talking about Rondo. As we get into Rondo, Mian7 had a video a few days ago talking about what they could really do. I would actually really like to see a hot drop coming out from Orangutan on APG, doing the typical 3-1 splits on Rondo. That would be such a good strat, and a good way for them to kick off PMGC.
आई थिंक जल्दी मैच स्टार्ट हो जाएगा क्योंकि लोग मोस्टली टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करते हैं और इन लोग का फटफट गेम होते रहता है गाइस। टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करते भाई, फटफट होता है। R8 भी अच्छा ही खेलती है भाई, अच्छा खेलती है। मैंने इनका गेम देखा हुआ है ऑलरेडी।
That's right. You know, I'll get that sorted for him. So he is right retrospectively. But we are thrilled as ever.
Rondo!
PMGC ready to ramp up.
Let's go start वे फर्स्ट मैच स्टार्ट भी हो गया बे देखो बोला ना आप लोग को मैं ये लोग टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करते नो नो भाई टाइम वेस्ट करते नहीं देखो 5 मिनट पहले एंट्री हुई अभी गेम भी स्टार्ट हो गया इसको बोलते हैं डिसिप्लिन प्रॉपर डिसिप्लिन समझ रहे तुम लोग हाँ ये रोंडो का फ्लाइट पाथ आ चुका है गाइस लेट्स सी देखते अपने ओजी कहाँ ड्रॉप लेती है होप फॉर द बेस्ट ओजी अच्छा मैच कन्वर्ट करे अच्छा फिनिशेस ले पॉइंट ले और अपना ड्रॉप क्लैश ना हो मे भी होगा ड्रॉप क्लैश आई थिंक सो एपीजी से हो सकता है लोग का अल्फा गेमिंग से हो सकता है ओजी आई ब्लू वाली गाइस ब्लू वाली वुल्फ्स के साथ ड्रॉप क्लैश है क्या बे डीआरएक्स हाँ डीआरएक्स बाय द वे गाइस
Where can I find these recall beacons? Well, it's the handy green hearts all over the map. They'll be visible on the mini map as well. But it looks like we're already in for a fast start here. R8 dropping down with Alpha 7.
Alpha 7
It looks like Alpha 7 though.
R8 और Alpha 7 का ड्रॉप क्लैश हो गया
Remember, the recall beacons exist, so it's not all done and done.
डायरेक्ट चैंपियन थी गाइस इंटरनेशनल जो हुआ था अपने कंट्री में
I think it's time to turn tail and get on.
वहां से क्वालीफाई हुई #1 #2 पे क्वालीफाई हुई कौन अपने टोरी पास जेली भाई की टीम हाइड्रो क्योलोमा और हर्ष भाई अल्फा 7 तो गई बे रश कर दिए बे लोग गई ओ नाइस नाइस क्या क्विक डिसीजन लेते बे लोग अगर अभी मर गए ना आरेट वाले नहीं क्रेजी अरे नाइस वन ओ भाई राइवलरी चालू हो गई अभी से ओजी शिट
In the meantime, Blank, we've got another hot drop going on between Virtus Pro and Ulf. Is that a full squad wipe, or is that just the flushes coming through? I think it was just the flushes.
It's scrappy. It always is really scrappy at the start here as well. Marfanning Revo, Alpha 7 look to get back into the mix here, in fact, after
भाई चाको को मार रहा है बे ये सही है
underneath GS9
ओजी का एक प्लेयर फिनिश भी हो गया रिकॉल भी नहीं हुआ अच्छा पूरा ही फिनिश हो गया है शिट यार
Murray's looking for the parachutes.
कम ऑन यार क्या कर रहे हो लोंडो
Alpha 7 back up
लोंडो क्या कर रहे हो आप लोग
As I was saying before, the typical strategy is to send 3 in towards a location you want to control. You have 1 outpost sent over towards the recall beacon.
Oh, what's the battle of the M249s? Plenty of lead being thrown either way. Not too much connecting.
He's got bigger.
To win that little duel there.
I think he bacha.
Already got a lot of prelims on the cards, Blank, but only 2 people are currently flushed. Make that 3 now. But look at the number of elims.
Yeah, recall ho gaya guys. Let's go.
And only 1 player has gone down. Orangutan have lost 1, and it looks like R8 and Alpha 7 aren't done just yet either.
R8's actually profiting quite a lot off of this. Actually, 5 points already on the game. It's very fantastic. Rio off in the distance of skiers having to send away now. And R8 may just get 6 points from Alpha 7.
आ गया चारों रिकॉल हो गया. Let's go.
Considering they're a 4-man squad. But R8, fantastic stuff.
R8 5 पॉइंट निकाल लिए भाई.
A team get more than 4 points on a hot drop.
Yeah.
Certainly in Rondo. I'm talking about the Rondo recall system, but because we've hypothesized, what's the maximum number
Alpha
of
7, Carilo.
It looks like R8 trying to set that record right now. Goodness me. Okay.
गया Carilo.
Get 6 or 7 points from a single team.
बोला ना Carilo नॉक मर्द ने R8 के भाई R8 वाले क्रेजी खेल रहे बे लोग तो एकदम fearless बे fearless.
Also that indicates that Alpha 7 has lost the fight twice, which is not great for the prospects of Alpha 7 going forward. I mean, losing to R8 as well, in the past, that might have seemed as like a big upset, but I think R8's actually improved a lot.
डर ही नहीं रहे बे लोग तो
most of those players are veterans now of the game. They've been playing a very, very long time. I think they're all very good. There's some small changes here and there. Yeah, I think Marth's always been a bit of an underestimated player.
6 kill bhe
Ida also.
अरे 6 kill मार दिए guys.
A strong suitor on that team. So I think for RA, you know, that is a fantastic start for them, but also not too surprising considering their uptick in their trend.
So I mean, it's a great start, right? If you want to have a big game, crack on with Rondo.
अजान हो रही गाइस, थोड़ा अभी शांत रहता हूँ. अजान के बाद कंटिन्यू करते हैं अपन बोलना. ओके? जब तक आप लोग मैच एंजॉय करो. लेट्स गो.
Any further, maybe spotted a couple of balls ahead of him.
2 people watching my stream. Thank you so much, yeah. Thanks for coming.
Man, APG's got brightness on maximum there. Like he was gazing into the sun. The screen was illuminating half the stage. Then when he switched the phone up to 120% on the brightness.
Hey, you know, they can handle it, those phones. They got all the bells and whistles. Thunder Talk.
Oh, he brings sunglasses
point off the wall. Yeah, I don't think they put sunglasses on your face. I think they're just short of that feature. But everything else, they pretty much got it on lock. Mad Balls crashing in, and Kara, Tulika spots one of them. Also has to crawl back upstairs. Remember, the recall beacon's still active, still accessible potentially, although it's going to get harder in the middle of the circle, which is where we find ourselves right now, Blank. It is going to be a little bit more difficult to find those recall beacons. And losing a player here is a little bit more terminal than perhaps losing a player further towards the outside.
It does get a little bit tough. That's the sacrifice you have to make, right? If you want center, likely you're not getting a second chance here. Certainly possible to make happen, but by the time you start heading center, a lot of teams start to gatekeep on these recall beacons, which is something that's happening a lot more frequently. And I do think that this initial stint of eliminations, of aggression, does start to die down a little bit as teams head on over towards that early game, that mid game. I'd say that probably kicks in around about 12-13 minutes here on Rondo, but it can kick in a lot later, as we've seen in previous PMSLs where things get really dicey the entire time. The question is whether it's really worth it or not, and I think teams haven't quite figured that part out yet. I think there's still decisions to be made whether to send 3 in.
Let's go, Londo. Once again, I am back.
One out towards the center of the circle.
Guys, let's go.
I mean, Papua Supermassive did this where they actually profited quite a lot off of Rondo individually by playing a 4-man all the way through to the end game. They never really.
Red wale 6 kill, Kara 3 kill.
Getting a lot of big points because by the time they got towards 80 minutes where they were stacked, they were looted, they were ready to roam around as 4, there was still around 50 players in the lobby. So you still have a lot
DRX Geek, OG.
Absolutely. Right now, I'm looking on the map at Ragnar Kaya, Blank, in the middle. And they are on a 2-2 split.
OG kidhar hai bhai?
Looking at 2 recall beacons, and one of them just went up massively in value. I'm expecting that they've regrouped to the east now. No real reason to stay on that western side one. Get a move.
Yes, OG.
So valuable for you. Kaya wanted to keep that one under control. Alpha 7 still has 2, by the way, in the northwest side. And they are...
Oh, wow, nice. आरू भाई W कर दो भाई. आरू भाई ने क्या सर्कल ले लिया भाई, सर्कल में पहुंच गए लौंडे अपने. अपने ओजी पहुंच गए सर्कल में लोंडो. सर्कल मैटर करता है भाई. सर्कल अगर कर लिया आपने, सर्कल कंट्रोल कर लिया आपने अगर, तो गेम कन्वर्ट कर सकते हो.
And deal with them. Unfortunately, there was a quick response from their side, and suddenly Alpha 7's plans get massively cut to shreds. Now they're sat on
PMGC PUBG Mobile Global Champions 2025 Gauntlet Day 1.
I mean, they're passing through VP as well, and they sort of have to make a straight shot towards the circle if they want to catch a recall beacon in time and still have a chance to get some loot on board before you're transitioning towards those late game fights. I think it's totally.
Kara का एक player recall होके finish भी हो गया.
All that well for them whatsoever. Good shot from CEO over towards Soldus. Real quick put down from him.
Kara, remember they lost a player earlier, and so they are staying as 3. They didn't break out to go for that recall. That's what I was talking about. Even though they are still available, they're kind of trapped in now. Mad Bulls being able to find that opener, really very valuable. And it looks like they are still under caution.
बहुत क्विक डिसीजन लेते बे. नाइस नाइस. उतार देता है बे. उतार सकता है.
Live under the cover fire of his teammates there as Lemon nearly takes him down out of the rotate.
It's one of those tough things, and it's a good point to bring up, is that if you're knocked and flushed towards the center of the circle, typically you're not getting that player back up again. And there's also that thing that's talking to you.
उतार तो अभी भी सकता है.
Voice that sometimes you get that tells you that maybe you could go for one of the recall beacons. And I think that is something that you kind of have to disconnect from your mindset in these games. If you're going down towards the center, you have to play on as 3. Yes, there's a possibility you can play on as 4, but does that possibility pose more risks? Most likely. So I think that teams do struggle with this idea of making those bold plays. I think if you go down to 1 or 2 players, I think it's fine to try and go for one of those maneuvers. It's probably not going to work out, but if it does, you salvage the game off the back of it. But I think playing as 3 is absolutely fine.
बस ये पुशर, लेमन पुशर, मैट फ्लिप. हो crazy lemon.
Lewis and CEO, and Nade bounces on the backboard and it manages
Guys,
to land on
फिर से
target.
शांत होना पड़ेगा.
Shifts out to the side, so
Once again, अजान हो रही है.
Bulls just going to be able to close this one down here and now. CEO though has something to say, and Nade out through the door, stops first breach, gives him a little bit more time to play. Teams are going to be leaving from around them, so not too much danger of third parties as Nade starts to bounce on in, and he goes down to the bombardment in the basement. Too much to handle. CEO, you're fired.
Given the old basketball maneuver there as well, bounced it off the floor into his face. I love that nade. You don't see those all that often. This is very messy right now. And I mean, we didn't really talk about the circle too much, but this has shifted over towards the eastern side. There is a lot of space down towards the southern edge of Yeongu right now, on Jidana City, that is available. This circle could push towards as well. Most teams are sat down towards Tuleng right now on the south side. Huge amount of water involved. It's a very uncomfortable circle, very, very uncomfortable. And you can tell that just by this terrain that you're looking at right here. It's, small divots to play in, small defiles you can set up, but other than that, very rough. And I mean, this is where you really want to be able to use the destructible terrain to your advantage, right? Being able to bomb out some of these areas with the nades, create those small craters is going to be very, very useful. More so than this is having buildings like GS. That does make your life a lot easier.
Yeah, that's a big advantage right now, coming in through on that south side, a little bit closer to Ling. I think the teams in the south are going to have a little bit cleaner of a time for now, but I think as things move forwards, it is the teams further up towards the northwest, Undertalk were playing before. Well, actually where DXavier are trying to send towards right now. You can see they're trying to get around the edge of this regroup onto Lambor, who is their northmost point flank. They're 3 players behind, and they are sending it forwards. They managed to find a sliver through. This is good scouting coming through for DXavier. They find themselves on the coastline, a nice little plateau.
Okay, guys, done.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. And for DXavier as well, there's always this chance to move over towards that northeast side and try and cross the water if the circle does shift towards the northeast. It's there's a chance there.
PG का refuses, guys. Nog and finish हो गया है.
But it is one of those positions you do need to be aware of, which is quite like
kill.
DRX's spot.
OG circle लो भाई, चलेगा. लास्ट में किल लोगे. अभी भी 57 प्लेयर रिमेनिंग है. 15 टीम रिमेनिंग. एक ही टीम बाहर हुई है, guys. कारा.
That's where they could pick up a lot of eliminations in the chaos.
ULF की फाइट हो गई.
After a circle like that. But
Alpha 7 की फाइट हो रही है DX के साथ.
Go towards the eastern side, so I won't talk about it until that
OG R8 और EA का फाइट हो सकता है.
Central arena, like you said, alongside with DXavier. Well, maybe I do need to talk about it. Completely undefined. Right, completely undefined. I'd say
भाई लोग इधर से अंदर जा सकते हैं OG वाले. Shit.
Land. But yeah,
ओशियन के बीच में सर्कल बन गया है गाइस, देख रहे हो किधर सर्कल बना है समुद्र में। ओ गी को मेट की फाइट हो गई।
You are having a great time off the back of this. Mad balls moving into
Oh,
game.
nice.
Very, very bad stuff here happening for them.
लास्ट रिमेनिंग भाई, फ्लिप लास्ट बचा है गया।
But he's got two enemies still.
देख रहे हो ग्रेनेड, देखो कैसे ग्रेनेड की बारिश हो रही है। ओह नाइस, थर्ड पार्ट से 1v3 कर दिया भाई इसने। अरे किल लेने आ गया ये इधर, क्या दिमाग लगाया भाई इसने। गया ये गई, गिग गई। क्या दिमाग लगाया भाई ने, गया ये। थर्ड पार्टी करने आ गई आरईजी, बहुत अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी आरईजी के पास।
That's a bold push,
फोड़ा
very bold push from Flip here.
फुटा।
He's been taking a little bit of damage from behind.
Yeah.
Hoping this nade goes through. Regnum Karya
टीटी भी पीछे ही से ये गए।
I think it's a very smart play from Ragnarok as well to immediately switch
गया
back over towards the rest
Flip
of the
गया।
team. It put the pressure on Flip in a big
भाई
way
फिर
where he had to speed up.
ओजी आतंकी नॉक आरेट अमूरी से।
It meant his teammates dying. And Ragnarok might just get I think getting the full team res is going to be a bit difficult. Maybe if you clean this up slightly sooner. There's a slight indecision.
ओजी का आतंकी बाजी नॉक फिनिश हो गए, बाजी फिनिश हो गए। 2 people still watching my stream. Thank you so much यार, thanks for coming.
Eliminated. Regnum Karya now up to 5 elims. They've lost one of their players, but there's still plenty of firepower for them to play with, and 5 points is not a bad game by any stretch. Now we head over to the route out of Jejina City, the bridge mouth here where E-Arena have sat. DRX were up in the buildings for a long time, and now they want to
DRX भी फाइट चालू हुई है इसे। ओ नाइस,
get past this E-Arena.
आरू भाई ने एक को नॉक किया। नाइस वन, नाइस वन, मारते रहो थर्ड पार्टी कर दो। शाबाश शाबाश। किल नहीं मिली यार, शिट। आई थिंक किल मिली है।
Pretty problematic. I mean,
ओजी को किल मिली है।
DRX's better players as
चलेगा, 5-6 पॉइंट भी इनफ है गाइस।
is pretty tough. Soaz now has a very, very big task ahead of him, but I would say that, you know, probably
DRX
on the team here for the squad is able to take out one, making this into a 3v3 versus RA. Now, RA could continue the warpath here.
I think यही गेम भी पीता स्वीज
in Alpha 7.
मार स्वीज।
Push out now. There is enemies all around them.
Oh shit, पैनिक हो गया।
Steps, but it's not gonna phase them at all. All right, have been through the
Let's go Londo। अबे ओजी ने कहाँ सर्कल बनाया है।
struggling against one.
अब आरेट और इसकी DRX की फाइट हुई।
just happened over there. All right,
अरे ओजी की फाइट हो गई। एक नंबर DRX आरेट ओजी 3 टीम।
Yeah, I mean, disgusting Molotov.
अरे
he's able to find a lot of damage.
ओजी ने अच्छा सर्कल बना लिया।
able to move around the side.
चलेगा, टॉप 8 भी आओगे चलेगा, पॉइंट तो आएगा, पोजीशन पॉइंट तो मिलेगी गाइस। लेट्स गो।
I don't know what to say here. This is such an evil circle.
Vampire, A7, OG, R8, GS,
PMGC,
ULF.
And Alpha 7 get incredibly lucky with this one. I think that's the play you have to make if you're a 2-man squad, is you head to the unknown side of the map. Which in this case is northeast.
2 people still watching my stream. Thank you so much भाई, कमेंट तो करो, जो भी आया भाई कमेंट करो मेरी जान।
Stage 5, you're usually assuming the circle to pick one of
कमेंट
two
करो भाई लोग।
masses to go to, but because this has been so central each time, the algorithm basically just says, well, we just have to split.
Yeah, it's a real nasty circle right now, and I mean, at the start of the game, playing like lemmings.
Hey, nice, Haru भाई, one more knock. अरे कोई गिर के नॉक हो गया। अबे स्क्वाड वाइप कर दो, एक नंबर आरेट गई। आरेट को स्क्वाड वाइप कर दिया लोग ने शायद। आरेट का 3 ही था ना। ये लेट्स गो, 2-3 फिनिश आ गए गाइस। शाबाश 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 ओजी, मारते रहो। ओ नाइस, 3 किल। ओजी ने आरेट को स्क्वाड वाइप कर दिया गाइस। 3 ही रिमेनिंग था, एक गिर के नॉक, 2 नॉक फिनिश। शाबाश, मारते रहो लोंडो। आरेट को खत्म कर दिए।
and there's nothing doing.
Sorry,
Now
sorry,
he's
R8 का
already
एक
with
है,
the shotgun,
sorry,
and he's
sorry.
gonna keep the lead
1
pouring
किलो
out.
लोग ने
He's not
पहले
gonna be
लिया
able to
था.
get all three, but goodness me, it was
मारो
close.
एक किया और होएगा ना.
I mean, it's the correct move. It's the correct move.
R8 का एक बाकी है.
It was slightly less glamorous than they were hoping potentially, but it is the right move. Is to send 3 out on a quick spin there to take down Baton, because the way he was running around, I think they realized that they were just going to be wasting nades, sending them out the window, hoping for something like that. If they get this done right now, it means they can have a lot more pressure over towards the future.
ये मूवमेंट पे R8 को एलिमिनेट करती है OG. OG के 4 किल हो जाएंगे और एक टीम एलिमिनेट हो जाएगी तो टॉप 8 बचेंगे. APG गई. ये डॉग बचा है सिर्फ.
APG down to just Doc on a sliver of HP.
Talked about them a lot earlier, Blank. Xavier making that rotate in has really paid off. I mean, the circle's helped, but they have managed to maintain that position on the north side here. They are not across the water. They are still on that southwest side, and they are rotating through. They've had
DRX भी 3
so
किल
many
करके.
fights. I mean, we saw brilliant nades just then, but none of them really mattered for the teams throwing them because of so much pressure coming through from Xavier's position.
OG ने 2-3 मतलब अब से 4-5 किल निकालती है तो #2-3 तो आराम से आ रहे भाई लोग. पहले ही गेम में खेल रहे बे लौंडे, खेल रहे बे बिना डरे खेल रहे. शी. अच्छा इन लोग अगर सीधा जा रहे अल्फा 7 वैम्पायर पे सर्कल बन गया बे. अब होगी कौन सी ओरिजिनल फाइट भाई. ये लोग तो फुल नॉस्टैल्जिया वाली फीलिंग दिखा रहे जब अपना ये क्लच गॉड पानी में था, कार के अंदर मार रहा था जब सोल के लिए खेल रहे थे लोग ब्राजील में.
It's a tall task ahead of them, right? They need to take down most of the teams on the western side. Then they need to get an initial knockover towards Virtus Pro to enable even a
OG वर्सेस APG.
I think if you
OG वर्सेस APG guys, अल्फा गेमिंग वर्सेस ओरंगुटान. लेट्स गो
of course.
भाई ये दोनों डेंजर हैं. टॉप और डॉग दोनों टॉप फ्रैगर है टीम के. रे GS रश गया आरो गया. साले रश कर दिए बे इन लोग ने तो. क्रेजी. नाइस मार एक नंबर. विसगॉड ने को नॉक किया. R8 गई. R8 एलिमिनेट हो गई. चलेगा 4 किल. नाइस वन. गई APG गई. एक नंबर टॉप 6 में आ गया अपन. लेट्स गो लोंडो. 4 किल वो तो ये 6 पॉइंट तो आ गए. ओ नाइस वन. एक और गिराया. His God, मेरी जान. लव यू शेर. अबे 5 किल हो गई बे अपनी. अरे रे गए अपन भी गए. सिर्फ एक ही भाई बचे. सिर्फ एक ही भाई बचे. एक ही भाई ने क्या सर्कल लिया है बे. अब लड़ो तुम लोग, मर जाओ आपस में. DX वर्सेस TT लड़ लो, मर जाओ. अबे हैशटैग 3-4 आ जाएंगे और मजा आ जाएगा लोंडो.
And Xavier have nothing to say about it. 7 elims so far for the Thunder Talks, and overall I would say the team play is phenomenal this game. I've been very impressed with maybe not the mechanical skill, but the decision making overall has been very good from Thunder Talks.
Nice mar.
Xavier, the 2 players now holding off against 3.
क्या मार रहे TT वाले. Fearless खेल रहे, डर ही नहीं रहे ना.
Do need to move on in, move a little bit closer here as the nades continue to roll on out. This is a bit more of a
mechanical skill.
May have oversight.
Mechanical skill guys, देख रहे हो. Decision देखो ये.
So it could be a little bit harder at deployable cover as well.
From China, TT from China guys.
Concrete barrier. Keep them safe, but
गई. एक नंबर गई. अबे टॉप 4 में आ गए बे लोंडो. लेट्स गो. अल्फा 7 को भी भाई मारो, एलिमिनेट करो. अरे लेकिन वो लोग उधर है, ये लोग इधर है. TT वर्सेस OG की फाइट हो सकती है.
doable through this.
What on earth?
अगर कोई डिप में होएंगे
Yeah,
AK
this
भाई
is rude.
तो सेफ है.
It's very rude.
अबे हाँ बे डिप में ही है. अबे लेकिन साले वो
I
TT
might be wrong. I think the third
AK भाई बहुत ओपन में नहीं, TT के नीचे ही है. TT वाले अगर देख लिया, अगर TT वाले नहीं आए,
I think that
क्योंकि
I would be lying to myself.
वेरी यूनिक सर्कल बन गया गाइस. देख रहे हो पानी में सर्कल बना है.
Circles messing with us all right now. But the Thunder Talks,
I think I might be wrong.
Go ahead and say that I think that just off the back of this game, there's been multiple moments where I thought that the team play is very, very good, which is usually something
Oh,
that is not
nice.
present in Chinese teams anyway.
अब देखो अब सब गाड़ी में बैठेंगे अंदर.
But they're backing
अब
up with
सब
very,
गाड़ी
very
में
quick
बैठेंगे.
movers. So
Vampire वाले तो भाई क्रॉस कर रहे हैं.
They know they need to move across. I don't like that Thunder Talks aren't holding the water.
Vampire वाले crazy खेल रहे हैं बे इधर
I
तो.
think that they're worried to go too far forward and expose themselves to angles.
बस AK भाई को कोई देखे ना है. साला किंग बैठा है ना जो TT का, मैं भी देख लेगा. AK भाई पीछे देखो, AK भाई पीछे देखो, AK भाई पीछे देखो. अरे रे.
I think this is really well played by Virtus Pro, and I think you're right on that.
Two people still watching my stream. Thank you so much, मेरी जान.
Western side. Just a note on the circle on the minimap, it's slightly
एक नंबर.
where it actually
TT
is.
वर्सेस VP की फाइट हो सकती है मे बी.
Than this, so it is.
ये करीलो मार देगा. करीलो ये अल्फा 7 मार देगी. OG को अल्फा 7 मार देगी. लेट्स गो. कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं. अगर TT और VP की फाइट हुई तो अल्फा 7 भी, ये लोग भी मतलब थर्ड पार्टी करेंगे.
I mean, Alpha
तो अपने को एडवांटेज हो जाएगा #3 का.
They might also have a
Let's
chance
see
in this
for
one,
the best,
which
guys.
is crazy.
Yeah, teams
There's a
start to
difficult
get.
rotate out for them, so that's
Yeah,
definitely the outside chance.
I mean, teams are bruised up and cut up, and I think that you'd be, I think you'd be okay saying that Alpha 7 has a chance in this game, because I am kind of concerned that there's a case where this game is all down to chance now. On this next circle should the last one of the game. We'll see where it goes.
Let's go, Londo.
People are looking fairly happy, but I can't.
मारते रहो, रुको मत. अरे रे, इसको देख.
I'm waiting for the map feed to update here. But that does head back over
TT
towards
from China.
Boston, as well as Aragon-ish. And I think Virtus Pro still do have the edge here.
Just about. It's really difficult though. You can see the open beachhead that sits in front.
मेरे को ऐसा क्यों फील आ रहा है TT वाले लोग को
They have to get
इन्फो
over
आगे
this
रहेगी
bridge
OG
line and play on nothing,
OG की,
really,
AK भाई की.
which is difficult. Really tricky.
Two people
So
still
what
watching
is
my
the
stream.
second
Thank you
leg
so
which
much,
is
मेरी
actually
जान.
in the water? I
Thank
think
you
it's
so
time for
much,
a swim.
means a lot.
I think it might be time for a swim.
Certainly for IQ.
But India getting themselves at least top 4.
बोला ना.
With.
मेरे को ऐसा डर लग रहा था ये इसको ना इन्फो आ गई है किंग को. OG के चलेगा 5 एलिमिनेशन एंड
TT down. 3 teams now remain.
10 किल ले चुकी.
4 players of Virtus Pro. They're split 2 and 2. A nade here could be dangerous. Could cause themselves.
चले 5 या 2 पॉइंट या 3 पॉइंट मिलेगा पोजीशन का. 7-8 पॉइंट तो आ गए. चले OG. गुड गेम. नाइस टैप.
Towards their backstop with these front two playing it. Virtus Pro playing
एक
on
नंबर.
ice edge right now, but it's working.
Nice.
Nade over the top, over towards Xing. Milky Way might drop down
Nice.
into the path of the nade, but the work has already been done. AJ getting taken down to the last player to stand
Alpha.
for them. And the
Maybe
left
Alpha
across the
convert
way,
ना कर ले.
Carrillo is chiming in too.
That's so
Undertalk up against the wall, and Virtus Pro have played this masterfully.
I mean, you might have a 2v2 here though between Alpha 7 and Virtus Pro going over towards that end game.
Oh, nice one, yaar, Vampire.
Moments. A lot of indecision there coming through
अरे
from the talks.
कहाँ खेले रे VP वाले. 2 इधर आ गए, 2 उधर आ गए.
Now has to hit the deck. There is shots from the sideline. Obscure has to be clean with
Vampire का चिकन.
And Malloy is providing support. Carrillo with it all down to him now in these final moments.
वैम्पायर का चिकन. रोंडो में पहला चिकन आता हुआ वैम्पायर का गाइस. ये लोग गाइस इनवाइटेड टीम है, बाय द वे होस्ट टीम है थाईलैंड की.
I mean, they played like lemmings at the start of the match, but they claimed second place off a big shift up to the northeast side.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would call that a big win for Alpha 7. It's a bit of a salvage game. But let's head back over to the desk to see what they think about this one.
Bangkok, Thailand. ये फर्स्ट में चिकन कन्वर्ट कर लिए भाई पंपायर वाले. Witches Pro. Boston, Milky Way, Maloy, फुरिया. देख रहे एकदम सिंपल जर्सी है एकदम. स्पॉन्सर का नाम भी देखो कितना छोटा लग रहा.
Man, what a tough game there for Virtus Pro at Alpha 7, huh? I mean, that was a very difficult rotation. It's so ridiculous. Rondo, there's only
Let's
a
go.
little bit of water, and it just so happens to land on majority of water here. Hey, it's PMGC.
Let's go लोंडो मारते रहो. चलेगा कोई ना कोई ना. अभी सेकंड मैच स्टार्ट होने वाला है. सेकंड मैच आई थिंक इरेंगल है. थर्ड मैच भी इरेंगल है. फोर्थ मैच भी इरेंगल है. फिफ्थ मैच है मेरा मारो. सिक्स मैच है मेरा मार.
Every single circle shift. I don't know what the hell was happening. Alpha 7 and Virtus Pro, of course, congrats on the amazing game. You guys got a little bit lucky with the circle there, and you know what? They made the most out of it, Hot Jukes. That's what you want to see. And Virtus Pro, Aragon in particular, and Malloy, Milky Way, the guys putting up the numbers and coming out huge here on this first.
कॉल तो उनका गाइस अच्छा था. क्रेजी कॉल था. कॉल इसलिए अच्छा था कि दो इधर स्प्लिट में खेल रहे, दो पानी से रोड क्रॉस करके मतलब ओशियन क्रॉस करके नदी क्रॉस करके वो अपोजिट साइड गए टीटी वाले से फाइट लेने के लिए. अगर टीटी वाले अगर ये लोग ये साइड रहते तो अल्फा 7 वाले लोग से फाइट लेते और टीटी वाले चिकन कन्वर्ट कर लेते.
I don't know how they got off of that ridge just into complete nothingness with only smokes, right? But it was the controlling aspect of the 2-2 split either side of the river. I was skeptical at first about
मेरा गाइस दोनों का वॉइस सुनो.
but honestly it
कास्टर
worked
से भी
so
वॉइस
well
सुनो.
because
मेरी
it
भी
meant
वॉइस
that they
सुनो
could
गाइस.
control each other's enemy aggressors rather. So really
Let's
love
go
how they
लोंडो.
did that
शो
control
सम लव.
control.
गाइस क्या कर रहे हो बे? सो रहे हो क्या?
Yeah, as you can take a look here at that game one more time there. Virtus Pro, man, they were able to just get it done right at the last second there. We saw Obscura try to be able to get that double knock, and I think that's really came down to that last little fight there, but he ends up getting taken down.
Nice. Heads off यार. Heads off. हेड्स ऑफ ओजी यार. एक नंबर गेम खेले बे. सोचो फर्स्ट मैच 7-8 पॉइंट निकालना. इज इट अ वेरी ह्यूज मोमेंट फॉर देम यार.
And Malloy, Milky Way, this duo sending it across the river, Neptura, and holding off all of Thunder Talk while keeping.
और AK भाई वो मोस्ट कंसिस्टेंट प्लेयर भाई. विज गॉड आतंकी भाई. आरू तो हेड्स ऑफ यार. क्या आईजीएल है बे. आईजीएल अच्छा है तभी तो कंट्री को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है. समझ रहे हो तुम लोग.
And to make such a perfect play out of such a difficult zone as well, right? To take that sort of high pressure scenario, it was not an easy game by any means. Yes, they might have had more time to think about it because they were on the other side of the river, but yeah, it's insane that they were able to bring that out of it.
Wait, Niptura, Hot Troops, am I seeing Malloy with 860?
Come online, bro. Khalid Gamer bhai, I am doing a watch party from PMGC 2025.
Oh my. That's crazy stats. Okay.
Dude, ridiculous. I mean, one thing I really love from them, though, was to have that heads up.
Oh,
to
by the
cross
way, I'm
river,
not reading
I think a lot of teams in that
lunch.
position, they're just like, you know what, we're going to hold this
Yo.
side and just see what happens. But no, they ended up making that split, and it worked out for them big time, man.
Yeah, definitely worked out for them big time as go through some of the replays here of this match. And of course, a lot of pop drops, which you would expect Niptura, right, going into Rondo because of the recall tower system. But Alpha 7 losing to R8, definitely an unexpected run of events here in the compound northwest of Rondo. And Alpha 7 got to maybe rethink that hot drop because R8, they're coming in hot. They're swinging here for the MENA region.
Yeah, it is interesting that we weren't expecting to see A7 really not come out on top on that one, but yeah, maybe they'll have a little bit of a rethink. At least now Rondo's done and dusted. They got some time to think that one through maybe a little bit more. I wouldn't be surprised though if we see them do it again tomorrow, right? Because
सेकंड मैच ये रेंगल स्टार्ट होने वाला है गाइस थोड़ी ही देर में क्योंकि ये लोग टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करते. फटफट गेम खत्म करते हैं गाइस.
We'll see tomorrow what they've got in store.
Yeah, I think it's harder to make that decision too when you end up in second place. You know what I'm saying? Like the recall towers, I mean, it works out big time for them. But at the end of the day, yeah, them losing that fight was pretty tough. I mean, R8, got to give some big shout outs to them. 5 eliminations off the rip in here, really utilizing this whole mechanic to their advantage.
just farming eliminations in the early stages of the game. Though, we did see a few quick little replays in it of the fight. I think we both found very interesting that southern fight on the gas station next to the bridge. You had DRX, you had E-Arena, R8, and Orangutan I know that you wanted to talk about that actually, instead of going for the aggressive approach, went a little bit slower here, and that allows them to secure 9
Let's
points.
go, Londo.
9 points, top 4 is exactly what they needed to start the day off. Right start. All of
Support करो बे, support करो अपनी team को support
I really
करो.
liked what they did there because they knew R8 was right next to them and they thought, listen, if we third party DRX and E-Arena, then R8 are just going to third party us. We're going to leapfrog all of this, let R8 do that third party, and then we're just going to gatekeep.
OG no point bे. Oh my god.
Placement points. They were able to full send it to the middle and get top 4.
क्या बात है यार.
Brilliant play.
Good
And
start
this is
by
what
the
I'm
way.
saying. They're a smart team. They know what they're doing. against
Good
people.
start. First
And don't look at the
match
leaderboard,
9
for a
kill.
second there, Hot Tricks. We need to mention Thunder Talk. Like those guys.
मजा आ गया भाई, मजा आ गया. I'm so happy.
For the PL region.
I'm so proud
Setting up absolutely
of you guys.
winning positions onto the western side. I think earlier on they had a big 2-2 split, then they regrouped onto mini heaven.
ये I think so ये लोग PMGC भी खेले थे. #16 वाली. और DRX 11. #11 3 kill.
To transition later on in that game, Thunder Talk. I want to see more of this because this is the Thunder Talk you expect to see coming forward in the PL season.
And their quick decision making, I think, really showed off right here because you saw Xavier in a really dominant position, but Thunder Talk wasted no time, pushed on them, and took them out the game. But you know, Xavier ended up with 8 points. Thunder Talk ended up with 15, but it's all the Loy here. I mean, look at that. 870 damage. What a great start here for this team, Max. So here's the rest of the top 4 players, and I'm not surprised we see, of course, one of the Thunder Talk players right here and now, Max.
Yeah, sitting, setting up the plays at the end there. And I think, Niptura, talking about actually sitting and Thunder Talk, that push we saw later on in the game onto, I believe it was Xavier over that little valley point, keeping one play on the backside, I believe it was King.
Yes.
That was literally the most perfect execution of that play for Thunder Talk in particular that we could have expected in that situation. It was so well played.
It was so nice. I love to see sitting pretty number 2 here on the top of the players. It's really nice, and it's really it's a good example or a good representation of what this game was for them. It's really nice.
Beautifully done, beautifully done. I mean, man, R8 starting off strong. So many different things to talk about, but that's it for Rondo. Next up, we're gonna go into Erangel, Max. And when it comes to Erangel, right, we already saw some hot drops in Rondo. I know that we're gonna possibly have some ones here in the big map of Erangel. Which ones do you think are gonna happen here, Max?
Well, I'm a bit scared about Virtus Pro and Alpha 7 because they both drop in George Pole / Lipovka. Also, they do drop in Mill to Power for Virtus Pro, so there could be a little bit of a clash there. But the main one, I think that me and Niptura are both going to be heavily paying attention to moving forward, is going to be GS Team hot dropping APG in military base because they kept doing it during the scrims. Are they going to do it today, Nev? I'm hoping no, but they might.
I really hope they don't, because like we discussed yesterday, right, while we were watching that, it's like, if you want to go and hot drop another team that maybe has just switched to that position because of PMGC, then fine. But you don't hot drop APG in the location they have had for years across multiple different teams. No matter what team they're on, they drop military base. They know the ins and outs so intimately of that location that for GS to go, hey, actually we're gonna uproot you.
2 people watching my stream, thank you so much, means a lot.
Somewhere else, don't hot drop. Don't do it.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मेरी जान आने के लिए.
Seems okay, guys.
Dude,
It's way
true,
more than enough
But
buildings in
APG's like,
military
nah.
base. Yeah, it like genuinely hot
Military.
shoots. If we see the fight happen again between GS Team and APG in military,
सेकंड मैच स्टार्ट होने वाला है जल्दी गाइस.
and I think GS are kind of
अभी कास्टर्स लोग
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
एनालिस्ट लोग
because even when we were watching it during the scrim, it's not like any of these teams were, either the two squads were walking away unscathed, right? Like they were all walking away with 2 players gone or 1 player out of there. And I mean, when we're playing 3 Erangels, this is the map in particular you don't want to waste any time on, right? So
yeah.
it's crazy to see, I mean, a hot drop of this scale. But I mean, we talk about, I mean, these teams here, and APG in particular, they don't move for nobody, guys.
Yeah, they're never gonna like. I think that we're gonna be 10 years in the future in PUBG Mobile Esport, and APG will still drop on Sovnovka Island in military bases. Okay, this is their position for the longest time, and it will stay that way moving into the future. So, looking at the hot drops that used to happen, we used to have Orangutan, right? Neptura hot dropping versus Rengan Karya in Rozok. They changed their drop location now dropping around shelter area. They can also go to Taverni if they want. I think this is a great change for the better, and I'm really happy with Orangutan making that switch.
Yeah, I am too, because it really plays into their edge.
देख रहे हो गाइस, फैन के ऊपर फोन रखा है क्योंकि फोन हीट होता है ना, उसको ठंडा करने के लिए लोग फैन यूज करते हैं, कंटिन्यू खेलते रहते हैं ना.
Also, a lot of teams also play center in this lobby, so to land center and then try to play edge is going to be too much of a hassle, and you're probably going to get caught out early. So really nice to see them move to a more of an edge position on the map, and so then they can actually play how they want to play a lot easier.
Yeah, you can see these players locked, loaded, ready to go here into Erangel. Are we going to see those hot drops? Military base is going to get crazy, and it still just freaks me out every single time, because I'm like, why are we dealing with this? There's so much room. You could easily have a team go Novo, loot half the place, and be fine with it, but they're going to crack away at it no matter what, you know? Now, we got some other teams, other players here that I definitely want to talk about, right? We didn't get to really talk about at the top of the show about DK, right, Max? And I know Nerzed joining them has been a really, really big improvement for them. What do you think about that?
I really like the way Nerzed has been playing with the team during PMSL MENA. He was so impactful, but also not just solo carry. Very clearly, it's the entire team putting up some really good results. Berlin, Kevin, Nerzed, Ragnarok, everyone's doing fantastic in their games. Safety also, of course. And I do think it's still a slow process, because adding a player as experienced as Nerzed in this team, it's still taking time for them to adapt, because they have a completely different meta, right, from when he was in CSA, now joining the MENA region. But they've had time now, since PMSL MENA, and now going into this tournament, so I feel like that synergy is going to be even stronger. And if that's the case, maybe we could see a MENA team make it to the finals. I feel like that's the region a lot of people are looking at. That might not have any teams to represent them in the finals, but if any of them is going to make it, I think DK is definitely one of those squads that I'm going to be paying.
55 seconds में second match start होने वाला है गाइस. Erangel.
That maybe in PMGC in a global lobby, they're actually going to be a little bit more comfortable, because now Nerzed is able to bring that global experience that he has to the team and forge the team as it needs.
Let's go.
Or whatever, right? Whereas going into the regionals, they were still playing as a regional team a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see if that experience, if that influence is going to actually make them have a better time.
रिकॉल वाला सिस्टम नहीं है गाइस एरंगल में. अब रिकॉल वाला सिस्टम नहीं, अब उतरते साथ डायरेक्ट नॉक फिनिश होने वाले.
So much things happening right now, but it all comes down to this, guys. There's only 7 slots to be able to head towards the grand finals, and if you do not get there, oh man, it's going to be a tough battle in the group stage. We got 10 seconds left to go. These guys are getting locked and loaded. We are headed into Erangel for the first time.
Let's go Londo. Let's go. Flight path से लैंडिंग चालू भी हो गए गाइस.
Put a feed again blank, and I think we're into Erangel. I don't know about you, but we'll see. I think we're all good. Okay, well, here we go. What's life without a little bit of thrill here?
अबे ड्रॉप फाइट हो गई बे.
As well, okay.
APG की ड्रॉप फाइट हो गई. किसके साथ हुई?
C block. Continue to scrap this one out. Let's see who's going to get the better end of the stick.
GS की और इसकी फाइट हो गई. अरे shit, dog knock.
That's going to be nasty. Fortunately, Doc's down as well. Alpha Gaming actually definitely on the back foot of this as Reefus takes a lick down the hall.
Yes.
गया dog. Knock finish भी हो गया dog.
Not a bad start for them. APG were fighting over this in the test matches as well. It's interesting to see this one come back against this.
APG और DS का
engagement
drop clash बे.
multiple times during scrims. Looks like it wasn't one to conclude too quickly. Both teams kind of were going back and forth on this. APG were winning a couple times, GS were winning a couple times themselves. So
फिर से क्रेजी वाला सर्कल ये OG 7 सही है OG सर्कल बना लेगा आराम से यस नया पुलियाना से होते हुए
certainly a difficult scenario now for APG as well as
सही है आराम से
GS.
सर्कल में जा सकती है OG
I mean, APG down to 3 players, GS still
जेल भाई जो कुछ भी है तुम्हारे हाथ में
the ball is in their court realistically.
No recall beacons for Doc this time around. Yol biding his time. Reaper's ticking up slowly on the stim. Puts the pin back in the nade. Missteps a lot more costly here on Erangel, obviously taking that recall beacon away. Alpha 7 far flung from the thick of it right now.
Let's go.
Heading up towards the north, and given the circle, I think that's probably the right choice. The circle did pop all the way up to shooting range. Long road for these two teams. They need to conclude pretty soon if they want to get in with a chance of actually having a decent shot to the circle.
Definitely a long journey, and there's no recall beacons anymore to assuage those problems. APG is kind of stuck here now too, because you can't really make the backstep over towards the hillside behind them, very exposed. Once you move out the way, GS, all they have to do is head over towards the roof.
Let's go!
So APG sort of locked into this fight.
अबे अभी स्टिल इन लोग की फाइट चालू ही है फॉल बैक कोई किया ही नहीं हो गया पोजीशन रिवील हो गई जेल की
It's unideal.
क्या नाम है D3S उसको पोजीशन रिवील हो गई है भाई जेल की
He's been hiding behind this wall for a while now. I don't know if they know about it, but if they get up to that high ground, they will. Can't really move up to the roof. It's just so exposed, and you don't really know fully where Reefus is. From D3S, I mean, they know he's behind the wall now. Long nade. Don't think that tagged too much damage.
यही impact डाल सकता है गेम में.
They know where they're playing now. Stunner out wide to slow down a push that didn't come through for GS. And now gaming still.
Nice रे.
Holding, playing as 3. Pop off.
मुंबई मोली डाल दिया ना.
Molotov out on the door. Just at bay. Time and time again, it feels like every single time.
Fall back कर दिया APG वाले.
Forwards, but they're just getting rebuffed.
It's very much.
Let's see देखते क्या सीन है अभी.
Things where APG has to commit to this now, where if GS want to keep dropping on them over towards military, then APG need to make it as hellish as possible going forward. If you want to keep dropping here, we won't leave. Even if you take down one of us, we will remain, and we're going to make your lives very tough. Which is a bit of a stubborn approach, but I think APG and stubbornness go hand in hand anyway.
Yeah, I think that's.
It's the start of the tournament. They got plenty of time.
Two people watching my stream, thank you so much, means a lot. Love you मेरी जान आने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.
Well, I mean, if they want to.
OG का drop fight नहीं हुआ guys, basically देखा जाए तो अच्छा किया. By the way, good decision.
You need to try and get that one shifted a little bit further down the pipeline as fast as possible in the next 3 days. See what more they can earn. Erangel, obviously a major feature of these days, with a 50% of your matches played on the grassy pastures. Taking a look at the points right now, I mean, R8 with 13, which is crazy on that first match, despite going down fairly early on in the overall standings. I think it was 6.
Two people watching my stream, thank you so much मेरी जान. Thanks for coming, means a lot. Like, share, subscribe करना मत भूलिएगा मेरा भाई. शेयर मेरा. Subscribe करना मत भूलिएगा guys. Let's go.
Now to the so-called hometown heroes right now. Certainly the only representative from the hometown in the Gauntlet stage. We'll be seeing Vampires in the finals as well. But the arena will be moving alongside Kara.
Joker just watching this unfold. They pass on by.
Kara ये के बाजू से
for E arena, I think
चली
I
गई.
would have rather have got moving a little bit.
Circle सब circle जा रहे guys.
A proactive approach there. It does set up a bit of a land mark that's going to block off E Arena when they start to
ओ
come
भाई
through.
अब स्टिल फाइट हो रही है बे
PPG
लोग
also
की.
will be making a bit of a rotation
एपीजी वाले
over
फॉल बैक भी
towards
नहीं किया,
the
बोले
north
मारेंगे
side.
या मरेंगे,
Round
मारो.
likely
और क्या ही
APG regress over towards
ऑप्शन ही
DS.
नहीं है, फाइट ही लेना पड़ेगा. जोन भी क्लोज हो रहा है.
Rufus.
अबे क्या पोजीशन ले लिया भाई.
Bgmi taking a little
नाइस.
more ground back
अरे
under
रे जोल
control
को दे दी.
to the long building, but they left.
नाइस.
Backstop in the cover.
दो नॉक कर दिए बे इसके. तीसरा नॉक.
It's getting turned around. It's getting
A
traded.
nice one.
Chaos on the inside here, Blank, but Alpha Gaming
गए.
managing to stand tall.
भीतर
once
गए.
The push back in has worked. They are making it hellish indeed. There's Jafar now, the last player to stand for GS.
जाफर भाई तुम ही हो जो हो.
Down behind the box, has to
ये
head
तो
up the
फिर.
stairs instead to stay safe.
और नाइस वन.
It's ticking away. It's slow, but it's there. The dropout from Jafar into a 1 versus 1 now, and Alpha Gaming
Oh,
is still
1v3.
toe-to-toe in C
Oh
block.
my.
The bomb action through the window. He gives them the do-si-do and puts them back
जाफर
in the
भाई
map.
ने एपीजी को 1v3 कर दिया गाइस.
As well is pretty impressive.
GS is still on the game. Let's go.
She's granted, like you say. Military base is theirs. APG do go down.
GS is still in the game, guys. Let's go.
Only 4 elims and only 2 players.
TT Ajay.
We'll talk over towards the
King.
north side compound, just the west of Severny. I actually don't mind this position at all.
King
Like it,
Zing.
on our screens right
और एक
now.
और कोई.
A lot of
अबे
capabilities
OG
from
वन
Rufus
सेकंड
later
वन मोर
on.
टाइम भाई सर्कल ले लिए बे OG वाले. क्रेजी आरू भाई, हेड्स ऑफ यार. क्या रोटेशन है भाई तुम्हारी.
DRX
क्रेजी.
is currently playing on the dead
स्नैप
trees.
उलियाना से लिए रहेंगे.
Zaki for
अभी भी मिडिल. अबे सर्कल के मिडिल में पहुंच गए भाई OG.
They have been cowed.
Well, fine. You know what? I mean, they sent there early, right? And they're going to have to play from that northwest side. PK moving on the east edge with Ulf.
Two people is still watching my stream. Thank you so much, Richan.
The trees, the terrain play here will inevitably be incredibly
Oh, Alpha 7 DRX.
to regroup. Alpha 7
करीलो बहुत क्लोज है. करीलो आई थिंक तो IGL है Alpha 7 का.
much danger for his liking. Waits for the rest of his team.
हाँ, DRX का ह्विन बिन जो है वो इंटरनेशनल कप में MVP हुआ था, मोस्ट वैल्यूएबल प्लेयर.
You're getting a lot of value off the back of this one with the circle moving over towards that western side. GK currently on our screens. Moving through the center of the circle, but no real position to stay right now.
अच्छा ये वो है अपना ये ST वाला है, स्टॉलवर्ड वाला जिसमें एक्शन टॉप
from the western coast. They're on the south side.
हाँ याद आया.
To them.
ये लोग 4 लोग खेलते थे. इसमें खेल रहा है ये. नाइस यार.
Now for E Arena to push over towards that eastern side and even past the Xavier. Kind of like their split. 2 and 2 across the roadside.
Action top.
Tucked in over towards the hillside on the east.
I'm confused about what
Let's go. देखते हैं भाई किसका चिकन होता है भाई. रेंगल में फर्स्ट रेंगल बाय द वे सेकंड में चाहिए और रेंगल फर्स्ट है. कॉन्फिडेंस बूस्ट होएगा बे सबका लौंडो लोग का. OG वर्सेस REG. OG वर्सेस REG. 2 people is still watching my stream. Thank you so much. Means a lot.
With a lot of oversight from on the surrounds, it's going to be difficult to move away from this, but it's very central, which is the big positive of that spot. They'll be able to play on from there. The DXAvia 2-2 split to their south flank as well is a big threat to them, but could be a bit difficult for DXAvia to hold. We'll see if they have more success than they did against Thundertalk from the last match.
Honestly, I loved Thundertalk gameplay from that last match. I think that it is definitely difficult to deal with a team that is very coordinated like that. I want to see more from them. I mean, 15 points already is a really good start. And for Thundertalks to get into that top 7 will be a big boon for their region.
Oh, nice one, yaar. OG still abhi bhi. Oh shit.
Really
सर्कल कहीं और नहीं चला गया। DX आ गए सर्कल में। अभी OG को फाइट लेना पड़ेगा REG से और मैट से। TT भी आ गए उनके मुंह पे। अरे नाइस वन, रोटेट तो कर रही है। एक के पास थर्ड पार्टी कर दो, थर्ड पार्टी कर दो आतंकी भाई। TT गए, सिटिंग गया। कहीं भी जाओ बेटा तुमको पड़ेगी पड़ेगी। नाइस वन, नाइस वन, लास्ट मैच का रिवेंज। नाइस वन, भाग गए भाग गए भाग गए भाग गए, TT वाले भाग गए, डर गए। मार मार एक भाई मार। भाग गए TT वाले। अरे आ रहे लोग, आ रहे यार, भागेंगे कहाँ क्योंकि जोन है। अब वो लोग बहुत ओपन डीप में लेट गए वे TT वाले। देखो सही से गाइस। 2 people स्टिल वाचिंग माय स्ट्रीम, थैंक यू सो मच मेरी जान। सब्सक्राइब करो भाई फटफट, लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब करो।
It is going to require a little bit of gusto from them to hold on to this spot, but I think that Regnum Kai can make it happen. RA currently playing box, which is not a bad position at all. I think for E Arena, it looks better than it actually is over on this south side. It's going to be kind of tough to move across that open ground, even past all 4 Xavier Wolves, even holding on that north side. So I think for E Arena, they may struggle slightly.
Spray देखो बे। वंपायर वर्सेस कारा की फाइट, वो भी जोन के बाहर।
Kara moving in from that western side, slowly moving through North George. Marso did finally get toweled off after his swim under the Georgia Bolt Bridge. Now they'll have to try and move further east with Virtus Pro and Alpha 7 in the way though. That is going to be tricky. The blue zone is starting to hurt now into stage 3, closing in 39 seconds to stage 4. That's where it starts to become possible to play inside that blue, and they're kind of caught in the crux of it, Blank. I think Kara not long for this one.
I mean, they didn't have a bad spot.
OG भाई क्रेजी खेल रहे OG वाले। 10 किलो पॉइंट हो चुका है। एक पॉइंट इसमें आया, 9 पॉइंट लास्ट गेम में रोंडो में था। एलिमिनेट हो गई क्या वंपायर? OG आ जाओ। अबे OG सीधा आ जाओ भाई, सीधा आ जाओ, कोई नहीं है भाई। डायरेक्ट आरएट पे आ जाओगे। एक बचा है वंपायर का। Let's go, let's go, Lord.
Very good position. Looks bad. It's pretty good.
I mean, yeah, right now it is brilliant cover, brilliant hard cover.
Guys, like, share, subscribe करना मत भूलिएगा. Don't forget to press the bell icon. Show some love, Londo.
This northwest side is getting treacherous.
2 people still watching my stream. Thank you so much. Means a lot. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया guys.
Quite a while. They moved all the way out to Zaki on a wide wrap from the Povka. And now they're starting to push towards the circle. Kara spreading out in a line behind them.
A7 or DRS की fight. Nice one.
DRX are starting to turn the tide of this fight. A second knock found as well, and really not too much damage seen in response towards DRX.
I mean, that's one way to do it, right? Is if you can't quite see your target, you just blindly spray through the smoke.
अब सिर्फ fight पे fight होगी. Stage 4 आ गया ना.
So far on the outside of the circle that yeah, it's only a matter of time for
गिरास use
start to happen.
भाई पहले गिरा देते. अरे रे आतंकी भाई. पाजी यार क्या हो गया आपको? पाजी.
Slightly low, but it's healing. I do think for Regnum Kari it's not actually that
पाजी
bad.
लास्ट मैच में भी अर्ली एलिमिनेट हो गए अभी.
The chances right now, at least, I think the chances that RA leaves box and the relative safety of those outside windows right here.
Nice.
Or nades down towards
Alpha 7 गई.
Regnum Kai, very slim. I think
Alpha 7. अरे रे इसको.
working pretty well in tandem with RA.
Ooh, Ragnarok.
विजगॉड और एक ही भी गए.
There as well on the northeast.
रोटेशन में ही फंस जाते हैं गाइस. रोटेशन ही तो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट रहता है
Still going with
बे.
a little bit more gas in the tank.
कारा वाले दौड़ा लिए बे आरू भाई
Too
को.
much more for orangutan. It is going to be a difficult
मत रुको
move
मत
now.
रुको मत
One
रुको
player
मत
left.
रुको.
Marso's
निकल
in
लो.
as
अरे
well,
नाइस वन.
taking fire from across the
आ
base.
ये शाबाश.
I think that may be Regnum Kaya if they step up on that south
अरे
side that
रे.
they managed to move out for an outpost with. Loxy.
आरजी ए नाइस वन रे.
This is nice little pick up there. A little bit too bold from Loxy, in fact.
आई
there.
थिंक ये गेम नहीं
Spot
अच्छा जा रहा है
from Loxy.
गाइस.
They know why he pushed out so far. He wants
अब
to
पानी
take
में ही
down
रहो.
further
एस्टागेट
from
तो
orangutan, but
अगर आ भी गए तो एक पॉइंट तो मिलेगा.
You remove
पोजीशन.
Mantle. Only 4 elims this game. Taken down. Virtus Pro currently playing on the bridge alongside on that western edge, but
आरू भाई बचे. गया ये गया.
This team's actually really quite strong.
बोला ना गया.
We haven't seen all that much out of all recently, but Aaron does get clipped by the circle, and like you say, in stage 4.
अभी का एक्चुअली सर्कल का क्या सीन हुआ गाइस. बहुत जल्दी सर्कल चालू हो जा रहा है. ये मेटा जो आया है ना वो थोड़ा अलग ही है भाई सर्कल वाला.
Gets flushed out as well. Couldn't quite make the run off. Now a player down. Not
सर्कल से नॉक हो गया था वो.
Hopefully they control way towards their advantage.
Aru.
Going back up to that northern side flank, that gives the position for DX on the buildings a bit of potential here, and they were able to a lot of that area.
आरू भाई सर्कल में.
Aru
भाई सर्कल में.
This could be a pretty solid spot moving forwards for DX.
लो भी फाइट लो लोंडो फाइट लो डरो मत बिंदास लो. 2 people still watching my stream. थैंक यू सो मच यार. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया यार. Thank you so much मेरी
It's
जान.
nice the circle does come over from the south and heads up. And DX Xavier do have a fairly strong spot to work with. You mean they're trying to remove GS3 on the backside of this building. They're being very vigilant clearing this one out, by the way.
Let's see देखते क्या होता है गाइस.
I mean, they have to be want to wrap around towards that north side. 2 good grenades, but no dice on that.
अरे यार जोकर यार खुद को फोड़ लिया गाइस जोकर ने. सब जोकर ऐसे ही रहते हैं यार. अरे कम ऑन यार. कौन नेट था बे.
Nicely
One
found.
speed by the way.
That res and the arena playing on now as 4, but they have to move up to the coastline here and into the waiting arms of R8 of Regnum Kaya. Mormon makes first approach and will get immediately backed off the angle. I think Marso's chiming in there as well. This is a really difficult rotate for the arena. I would be surprised if they make it unscathed.
If they can regroup on Mormon, sure, but we'll have to wait and see. Like you say, it's a tough rotate for them to make. Wolves now wrapping on DX Xavier on that northwest side. Let's see if DX Xavier are able to hold them off.
आरू भाई निकलो मत. आरू भाई.
Shields.
आरू भाई गलती से भी मत निकलना.
That is a fantastic nade. Honestly,
लेटे रहो अंदर. उठो ही मत.
Burst might have done the trick there. Silas has to do it all himself once again. With the double. Fantastic stuff. Zed Wolves goes a little bit too high, but Silas really throws the dazzler.
Sometimes the old dog doesn't need new tricks. Just play what you
Come
know.
on guys, let's go यार. प्यार दिखाओ बे लोंडो. क्या कर रहे हो?
Standing veteran PUBG Mobile scene on the global stage. No one really has more experience than him. That's going to calm the nerves.
मार. अरे रे मार देता. मारसो. जोकर भाई गए. अजय भाई से गए. ये सब जोकर ऐसे ही होते लग रहा है. एकदम जोक जैसा काम कर रहे हैं. सकूरा भी गया. ये वाले ऐसा लग रहा है पैनिक हो जा रहे हैं. आरू भाई निकलना नहीं. आरू भाई निकलना नहीं. पानी में ही मतलब एकदम पानी पीते रहो सिर्फ. आरू भाई 10 मिनट नहीं 5 मिनट और थोड़ा सब्र रखो. हो एक नंबर. फिर हो गई फाइट हो गई.
Has always been a fantastic fragger, and now on a team that can really utilize his performance.
2 players for Wolves down. They managed to get an opening too, but that is not going to be enough there. It seems like DXavier can't hold off these pushes. Thundertalk and now Wolves have been able to take advantage of positions.
पोजीशन पॉइंट तो मिलना चाहिए गाइस.
And with Wolves being able to pick up those 3 elims, now GK are going to try and capitalize.
यही है ना, रोटेशन जब काटो ना गाइस, रोटेशन में ही फंसते हैं जोन में जब रोटेट करते रहो. वुल्व्स की गीक वाले थर्ड पार्टी कर दिए बे. गई. अरे अबे 1v1 है. 3 इनके नॉक, 3 इनके नॉक.
And now pushing onto the outside there, Doran loses one of his teammates. They are
जा ऊपर.
opens up for the door.
डाल grenade.
He blasted back off its hinges.
It's actually underneath.
आरेड भी आ रही
Trying
है.
to make his way back up the stairs here, like you say, Doran, all down to him now. Nade in hand, this has to be a golden throw, and will head further down the stairs. Has one more to try and make it happen. Quick switches between.
अब ये रिवाइव देगा.
But teammates are starting to.
अच्छा फिनिश ले रहा, फिनिश ले रहा.
He's going to go for those elimination points.
नाइस वन.
Goes up where he can. Doran jumps out the window.
मार देगा.
Similar scenario.
ये मार देगा गीक वाला.
The entire team between the two of them.
बोला ना मार देगा ये. हो गया, अभी अपने 2 प्लेयर बचा लिया वो. गीक वाले ने आरेड को अबे थर्ड पार्टी करना चाहिए था. आरेड को क्या कर दिया आरेड. फिनिश रीड नहीं कर रहे क्या इन लोग.
still in a great spot, and R8 as well having a second really strong game to open the tournament.
I mean, all right, I've been. But again, I said it was unsurprising. I think they were a team that's improved.
अरे नाइस यार आरू भाई.
Over the years.
ओजी आरू भाई इन द चैट कर दो गाइस. ओपी लव यू यार आरू भाई.
Between one another. So
आरू भाई
I do think they
क्रेजी हो भाई तुम यार. तुम्हारी जितनी तारीफ करो उतनी कम है बे.
prestige that they're requiring throughout this gauntlet.
आईक्यू लेवल क्रेजी आपका भाई. क्या कंसिस्टेंट प्लेयर है भाई. एक नंबर आईजीएल है भाई. मार. आरू भाई पोजीशन पॉइंट ले लो यार. #4 और 3-4 भी आएंगे चलेगा. 2-3 पॉइंट तो आना चाहिए. 1 किल तो आ गई है. 2 पॉइंट और आ जाना मजा आएगा. मतलब ऐसा लेटे रहो तो पब्लिक आपको ढूंढे कहाँ गया ये बंदा. एक प्लेयर केबिन में. गाइस लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलिएगा. डोंट फॉरगेट प्रेस द बेल आइकॉन. डोंट फॉरगेट प्रेस द बेल आइकॉन. थैंक यू सो मच. थैंक्स फॉर कमिंग मेरी जान. जो भी आया भाई बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब कमेंट करना मत भूलिएगा भाई लोग. लाइक करो बे. लाइक करो, लाइक करो, लाइक करो, लाइक.
Towards the west, still has a lot of water in this one as well, so getting flashbacks over towards Rondo now.
2 पे
Talks with their singular player looking to play some points a little bit.
आरेड को बहुत अच्छा अपॉर्चुनिटी है #1 आने के लिए गाइस.
Very obvious someone's in here.
मेरे को आई थिंक सो मे बी आरेड चिकन कन्वर्ट कर सकती है. कर ली समझो. ऑलमोस्ट कर ली. 12 प्लेयर है. आरू भाई लव यू यार.
But I think that both Silas as well as Zedwolf know they need to have a very, very strong hold towards the south side because
feel आ रहा है. Let's see देखते हैं.
On R8 when they do eventually try and move in. But with E Arena still around this area, that's what Silas and Zedwolf are definitely most worried about.
अबे इनको कैसे मालूम पड़ा ये गाड़ी में बंदा है.
Last player in the drink. Been hiding out for a while.
अबे बम फोड़े गाड़ी नीचे चली गई.
Try and pick that point up. See how much longer.
भाई 2-5 मिनट और सब्र रखो.
R8 making that western push, the real big maneuver that has to happen here. The question is when. The question is what do they need to get in place to feel confident enough to go.
रेड वाले भी फंस गए गाइस. सर्कल ही नहीं है.
Off that rooftop now, they have to keep marching forwards.
अरे आरईजी भी यहीं बैठे. साइलेंस और वुल्फ. लेड वुल्फ
really fully chime in with force.
मार 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 मार.
Thorn in the side here.
मारना.
As soon as AJ goes down, if Zedwolf.
अच्छा आरईजी के भी 4 मैन है बे.
think that's when Regnum Kai can really start to leverage this.
अरे नाइस रे आरईजी भी चिकन कन्वर्ट कर सकती है बे अरे पीछे किंग है वो टीटी वाले
looking behind him as well. I mean, very, very good awareness on this one, but minimal ammo to work with. No nades, realistically here. Orangutan still holding strong. RA just about get themselves in a position to start sending nades, but wild evades every single one of them. M79 out of the smokes now as E-Arena looks to move across. How is he not down? Goodness me.
Oh dear, Tony K.
एक नंबर #4 बोलते
going to be maintained on that south edge.
आरू भाई मत निकलना
with 2 on that south side.
आरू भाई पूरी जिंदगी में पानी से मत निकलना पानी में ही रहो पानी में ही नहाते रहो उठना नहीं पानी से आरू भाई मेरी जान लव यू मेरे शेर
Close to prestige. Still just with their solo representative as well. Just clicking on
इसको गया बच गया बे
Laying down in the dark. Wild somehow doesn't go down to that nade. Felt like I went off right in his ear. And Prestige strikes out towards the south side. And Silas is going to fall. Zed Wolf now needs to pick him back up as Mark continues to move on over.
मारते रहो
Clocks the shot. Able to take down Loxy. Regnum Kaya
मारते रहो guys
too timid blank. They haven't been allowed
W कर दो
they wanted here. And Wild needs to stay alive but can't. Another nade.
एक नंबर फुट जाओ
Zed Wolf now the last.
आरू जोन में आ भाई टॉप 3 आ जाएंगे आरू भाई जोन में मोर
Will go down.
मोरनो मुरी मोर भाड़ू मोर इसको मोर भाड़ू
I can't believe Regnum Kaya loses that. I mean, they did everything they needed to do, which was
अरे
to
रे
take out E-Arena, clear some space on that side, and then push over towards RA. But RA have really been putting on a clinic during this game. Very fantastic play from inside of box compound, never straying too far away from their safety. When it came down to it, this has been a really good hold in terms of playing from one.
अरे ना let's go I love you Aru मेरी जान
I think he'll give his life for it, but you don't really care.
let's go
My goodness me, what a
6 point guys 6 point एक kill 6 point 7 point heads up Aru भाई
a bigger slice of the PMGC pie. That is a
let's go Aru भाई मजा आ गया बे क्रेजी भाई क्रेजी बे क्रेजी क्या सरवाइव किए भाई सही बात ये गेम गाइस 1 पॉइंट पे एंड होने वाला था 6 पोजीशन पॉइंट मिली हेड्स ऑफ यू ओजी लव यू मेरी जान आरू भाई डब्ल्यू गाइस एक खराब गेम को अच्छे गेम में कन्वर्ट किया है भाई एक खराब गेम को सीरियसली मजाक से हट के बोल रहा हूँ हेड्स ऑफ यू यार सेवियर ऑफ द टीम है भाई सेवियर ऑफ द टीम है भाई आरू भाई मजा आ गया एकदम घटिया मैच था भाई इनके लिए लेट्स गो मजा आ गया भाई मजा आ गया 7 पॉइंट भाई पानी में जाके बैठ गया भाई सुमनी में लक फेवर किया और सर्कल भी उनके ही पीछे आता गया शाबाश है इसको बोलते लक
R8 putting Mina on the map right there. That is what I'm talking about. That finish, by the way. Oh my gosh. Marth onto AJ. That was one of the most disgusting ways to end a match. These guys are not messing around here, Max.
को बोलते गेम भाई आरू भाई एक नंबर गाइस लव यू मेरी जान W in the chat कर दो बे
They get rid of AJ. They're like, wait, there's still someone alive, and it was Aru from Orangutan. But R8, given a free tick into the late game by playing box compound, they were able to hold on to their resources. But the flex out at the late game, Nictura, who we were super hype about, of Amori to get the off angle onto Regnum Karya. R8 coming out swinging here in PMGC in the first 2 games alone. I'm genuinely so impressed.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with them as well. I love that Regnum played that really well. 2-2 split either side of the river. They were going against 2 different teams at the same time to minimize both of those teams' control. But Amori was like, not on my watch, bro. Going around to the north side, getting that angle and just demolishing Regnum after that. Really set the tone for the game. And they were just able to just bulldoze through that after all.
एक नंबर आरू भाई
started off strong in Rondo. They had 5 limbs to start things off, and then just would continue to put up points.
आरू भाई की जितनी
they are off to the best start they could possibly ask for, right? Now speaking of starts, Max Man, you know, This match started exactly as we
जितनी
thought it
दारू
was,
करूँ आरू भाई
right?
तो उतनी कम है गाइस.
What a
जब तक तुम
ridiculous
लोग हाईलाइट देखो गाइस, फाइनल
win,
ब्लो देखो,
right?
फाइनल
We
ब्लो.
just see APG, right? Just going at it with GS right off the rip in military. What do you think about that, Max?
You're trying to make me angry right now, Hodrux, because it's working. Just to tell you, it is definitely working. It's
crazy.
GS versus APG, it's an ego fight we're seeing between these two teams. It's completely unnecessary. We talked about it. Military Island, it's big enough for two teams. And look, in comparison, you can look at GK, right? They don't fight in Novo. They're instantly in the circle, going for great third party onto Wolves and Xavier on the northern position. And then you have GS team and APG constantly fighting, clutch after clutch. Really good fight from Jafar at the end, by the way, but completely unnecessary. But you know what? I'm going to talk about something that makes me happy, and it's this R8 win. You know that? I can talk about positively because Amori, the off angle, sure, maybe it doesn't show itself through his elims. He only got one, but the angles were so impactful for them to wrap up this chicken dinner.
Let's go Londo. Winner with
And the
chicken dinner
knockouts well.
team.
And also look at
Stat
Marth.
5
Very similar
elimination.
to what we saw
R8
in the last
Marth,
game as
R8
well, right?
ID
67
7.
damage taken for
1
894
second.
damage is insane. So
Top clutch, bro, top clutch.
I wouldn't doubt that we're going to see him MVP.
Oh yeah, I mean that'd be good to see here, but yeah, look, this is what we love to see right here. Oh my gosh, at first we thought that Top was clutching it up with that double shotgun, right? And then Jafar just cleaning it up right there. You can just see the frustration and talk amongst all these players here, Max.
Okay, genuine question for you guys. Are they going to stop the hot drop? What are we thinking?
No.
I agree.
Not after
Unfortunately,
that.
I agree. They're going to keep doing it, right? It just seems like something APG would do, and GS team are like, why not? That's their reasoning, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Who cares about the grand finals? You know what I'm saying? Who cares, dude? You know, we still got group stage. It's not like we're out of the tournament, right? Right? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's what they're going for, or what that's the vibe right now, but that's definitely not the way to play it. Come on, guys. I mean, we've talked about it before, Max especially, right? We've been saying, hey, if they don't make it, if the teams that don't make it to Gauntlet, they're going to have an extra hard time making it to finals through the group stage. You've got to be in that top 7 for the best chance, and it seems like both these teams are kind of throwing that already.
Yeah, looking at these replays though, big highlight on Marth, not only for that final send onto AJ with the car that was just like an absolutely crazy clutch at the end, but also how he was able to just peek over the rocks to make sure there wasn't just a solo straggler around there, and they do find that one solo of Regnum and just eliminate him. That could have been a big issue as you go back over the entirety of this game. I love this graphic, by the way. I got to say, production.
So
I want to see more of this kind of graphics.
Wow.
Looking at, in particular, R8, the winning team of this match.
Look,
George Paul moving
oh
straight,
bhai,
actively scouting the entire
rotation देख रहे बे
game,
लोग
and they
full.
see this circle instantly. Where do you want to go?
Crazy bे,
Just
crazy.
head to the
क्या
river, and
rotation
ascending
थी भाई.
instantly in that spot, which not only facilitates transition in case of a bad circle shift, but it also allows you to just zone teams away from you, which allows them to instantly have an easy access into the late game with cars to move up and just clean up the entirety of the lobby.
Beautifully done. I mean, that's such a great position too, because for some reason the zone just hard shifts back to the south. You were right there, right? You control the bridge, you could gatekeep and get points, or just head back to a position. So I mean, R8 not hesitating there. I think it paid off dividends for them here in Aptura.
It really, really did, and it's one of those things of, like, you know, zone prediction and trying to figure out where the zone's going to go next. And we do see a lot of zones over on that bridge specifically. So really, really heads up play from them to try and take advantage of that and go, listen, it's either going to go straight up to the north, because we've often seen zones up there, or it's going to stay on this bridge. And they were really right with their prediction there. It turned out very well, and it worked in their favor. That was a big Elam game for them.
Look at that. 20 points for R8. Woo! These guys are feeling great right here. Tons of great fights in this one, too. As a matter of fact, we look a little bit down on the leaderboards there, right? We saw the Wolves, right? They had a great push onto Xavier. I was honestly shocked.
R8 20 points.
All the way out there.
REG 10.
What do you think about that fight?
Geek 10, TT 8. OG 7 point. जहाँ 1 point होना चाहिए था वहाँ 7 point आए भाई. 6 point सिर्फ place point आए भाई. Placement point 6. Heads off you, Aru भाई. Let's go G. Who OG.
Just a solo, I believe, on both sides between Safji and Dorin, and luckily enough, Safji wins it. But I like to see DK being this opportunistic in these third-party opportunities, so keep it up, because right now, Mina, they're coming out swinging, not just R8, but DK too, and I want to see more of that moving forward.
Yeah, I want to see more of that as well. I want to see more of that last play that we saw from Marth. Oh my goodness. If you guys could, we were in the back, right? And when I saw that zone shift, there. I thought we were going to see AJ possibly clean things up, make a crazy last stand fight. But then Mark just said, nah, you know, you're out of here, dude, right? Just driving up the vehicle,
Hashtag.
himself, and going.
Oh, wow,
right,
nice,
Victor?
OG.
Like, literally, if he
Hashtag
hit
4
those
है guys.
shots,
Let's go,
he's
let's
gone.
go.
So that was a crazy play.
Yeah, it was.
Hashtag
insane.
7 रहना है
It's
guys.
one of those things where it's like do or die,
ये
really.
3 दिन का जितना भी पर डे सिक्स मैचेस है 3 दिन कंटिन्यू चलेगा और हैशटैग 7 रहना है गाइस कैसे भी करके डे 2 डे 3 कैसे भी करके हैशटैग आएंगे डायरेक्ट फाइनल के लिए क्वालीफाई होंगे गाइस.
They are looking really comfy despite not getting a chicken dinner. They both have 10 placement points, which means you're still reaching the late game. I would like to see Orangutan survive as more than just a solo in the later stage. I think it was AKOP on Rondo, and this last game it was just Aru in the water. But you know what? They know when they lose the early game fight, we'll just try and survive as a solo, get some placement points, and so far it is successful for those teams.
And the consistency is all about, right? Especially when you don't get that opportunity to have a big game, right? You got to put something on the board, and Orangutan are doing just that here, Neptura.
Yeah, they really are, and it's all about that momentum, right? If you try and go too aggressive and play exactly how you want to play, even though the zone is against you, you're actually going to end up demoralizing your team in a lot of ways. So it's really nice that they're like, listen, we're going to scrap what we've done. We're just going to go solo again. It's fine. Get a top 4, get a top 3. We've got those podium finishes under our belts now, so that when a zone actually comes that we want to play and we can play the way we want to, we have that at our back to go, yeah, we got this. We can do this.
Love it. I love it, man. What a crazy couple games so far. You know, one team in particular, right, that we're seeing all the way down the leaderboards that I didn't really think we were going to see too much, right? It's got to be APG, Max, right? So I know that we're probably going to continue to see these hot drops because they're just that stubborn. Yeah. But, like, at this point, like, with them so far down the leaderboards, do you think there's a possibility of them changing things up?
Unfortunately, no. Knowing APG, they're just going to keep going with what they're currently doing. I wish they wouldn't, Hodrix, to be completely honest with you. I wish they would be like, if this is not working out, maybe did a bit of a mistake and change it up. But unfortunately, that is not the APG style. We're talking about another team here quickly, Nipsho, that I think we would both agree on that is currently underperforming is DRX. They're currently standing in 4th.
Let's go Londo. अभी तीसरा मैच भी स्टार्ट होने वाला है. थर्ड मैच भी स्टार्ट होने वाला है.
Very much not like DRX that we used to see in the past. I need to see a bit of a step up.
शाबाश यार इंडियन फ्लैग ऑन दी चैट कर दो मैं लोंडो. शाबाश.
Yeah, it has been odd, I think, but I think that's kind of the way they will want to play this. It's been slow, but maybe just, you know, we've had 2 really tough zones. Maybe that's really what's coming into play here. They tend to rotate quite slowly. They tend to, you know, play center, but then they've got large splits, and maybe with these big hard shifts that we're seeing, both the slow timing and those big splits, they're just not working.
Yeah. You know, the good thing is here, though, with the Gauntlet is that it's top 7, right? So top 7 move to the finals. And at the end of the day, we're going to see a whole bunch of teams go on over to the group stage that don't make it, right? So it gives teams, I think, a little bit of more room for error, right? To be able to have a couple, you know, games to kind of adjust, to kind of get things to happen. But at the same time, I mean, we're seeing squads move at a pace so fast here, Neptura, right? I think that if you let one of these squads, even a team like R8, get a lead, I think it's going to be tough for them to lose it.
Yeah, this is where you've got to be so adaptable, right? You got to tweak things in game. You don't have time in between the matches to do anything. It's got to be from zone to zone. You've got to be adapting, and that's where teams that are opportunistic are going to have that advantage. So really need to see the other teams try and
let's go Londo.
That gap because
third match start होने वाला है guys. Third match.
In 12th position in the
one more Irengal. Let's go.
A little bit more in their games, and you've got 1 placement point, 6 eliminations. A team that, you know, have some great players on their roster, especially looking at old Melis esports players from Turkey. There was just a rising star squad back in the day, and I think they're going to try and redeem themselves a bit more in this PMGC. As of right now, definitely a slower start alongside also Ulf. That I think a lot of us here, Niptra and Hodrix, we were looking at Ulf like old Firefox squad with Eren in particular, rising star of Turkey, that they were going to do well. But unfortunately, right now, playing way more passive than I really expected moving forward.
Yeah, it's weird. It is weird, right? We knew that we were going to play more passive, but this passive, I don't know. I don't know what I feel about that.
Yeah, it's so hard, right? It's so hard for me to really, you know, adjust when we've only seen 2 games, right? I think once we see at the end of the day, we're going to have a much more, like, clearer picture of what's happening here. But, I mean, with these 2 games, and let's be real, guys, right? these zones have been going ridiculous, right? They've been yoinking all over the place. That's been making things really tough. Even in this match, right? We had a hard shift on over to the southwest side. So I think that's making things a little bit uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, I mean, these squads, you got to be used to these hard shifts, right? You got to be able to put something on the board. But I will say, you know, it's hard when you're hot dropping, right, Max? It's a little
talking
tough.
about it. It's making me
I'm not gonna stop, right? Because it's like we got 3 today. We got 3 today, but it is what it is, right? You know, hopefully we can start seeing some adjustments. That's what I want to see, because at the end of the day, we talk about consistency, right, and how important that is, Max. But adaptability, I think.
Let's go. Third match start होने वाला guys.
So
Let's
many
go.
monster squads here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like some people would. I see a lot, especially in like chats and just comment sections in Instagram, when people give up a hot drop position. They're like, oh, they're scared and stuff. No, they are playing to win. It's a battle royale. You want to survive as long as possible in the game, okay? The idea is to get a chicken dinner. It's the whole point of how the game works. So giving up a drop location or going slightly off your drop location to have a similar rotation path, but just to dodge the early skirmish, is a smart play. It is how you play this esports. And unfortunately, as of right now, we've not seen those big changes. Of course, it's just 2 games in. It's still day 1, okay? But we do need to see those adaptations being made, because otherwise, for me, if you keep hot dropping an entire tournament, you're just not first place caliber just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It comes down to this. Do you want to control the beginning of the game, or do you want to control the end of the game? And a lot of times you can't do both. So you've got to pick, because I think the end of the game is going to give you a lot more of what you want versus controlling the beginning of the game. So you got to make that choice and make it fast, man, because yes, you know, we still have that opportunity in the league stage or the group stage or whatever to get where you want to be. But it's the gauntlet. There's only 3 days. You only have so many matches. If you want to make that top 7, make the changes. Control the end game.
Yeah, and you know, I think at this stage here, you know, we try to be as open-minded, I think, about certain decisions that these players make. At the same time, though, I mean, we have to be critical, right? Because I mean, this is where everything's on the line, right? I think there's a lot of squads here. They're all confident in their ability, right? But you don't want to deal with the group stage, Max, because we got some monster squads coming along the way, right? So if you could just head and just straight to the grand finals here and now, you got to do it. So if you feel like we're being a little too harsh on some of these squads, I mean, we got to be right now, right? This is what they worked the entire year for, you know, being a little bit more, you know, passive and kind of like hypothetical. I mean, for me, that's for PMSL, some of the earlier stages, Max, right? This is the PMGC. There's no room for error.
Especially in this gauntlet stage. I'm sorry to say, but for some of these squads I'm looking at, their highest opportunity to make it to the finals is going to be through the gauntlet by being in top 7. Making it down to relegation into the group stage.
Match 3 रहेंगे start होने वाला है लोंडो.
Top 3 or top 2, it's even more competitive. It's even harder to be at the very tippy top of those rankings. If you fail now, chances are your adventure might just be over unless you do a massive comeback in the next stage.
अबे इतना delay क्यों हो रहा है? Match क्यों delay हो रहा है?
So we need to see changes very early on, because otherwise top 7 it might be out of the question. Because this lobby, the gauntlet, looking at the other teams in the group stage, it's so competitive, and it is the toughest lobby. But still, this is your best opportunity to reach the final, so you've got to bring your A game here.
Yeah. And the good thing is, like I said, it's top 7, so you got. It's not like we're only, you know, having 2 slots where you have to have absolute perfection, right? If you're able to get 6th or 7th, you're going to be screaming for joy, right? But I like that point that you made, Max. And you know, we got a little bit of time to talk here. So how about this? Okay, Neptura, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Max was talking about how there's some squads that need to perform here, because if they don't make it in the top 7 now, they're probably gonna not make it to the grand finals, right? So which teams in particular do you think are really in the hot seat, right? Which squads do you want to see make it to the top 7?
Let's go, Londo!
Not gonna make it in the grand finals if they don't make it to that top 7 here now.
Okay, I've got a really hot
मैच क्यों इतना डिले हो रहा है? क्या हो गया है?
I think A7.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't make it. They didn't make it to in the World Cup, right? They didn't make it past the survival stage.
Exactly. Exactly. I think
देखते
the
भी क्या
longer
scene
they
है.
have to fight against more and more teams, the more pressure they put on themselves, I think the worse they're going to do. They need to come out super strong, no pressure, top 7, easy peasy, knock it out of the park, go to finals. I think if they go the other direction, it's not going to look good.
What do you think about that, Max?
Alpha 7's a pick and a half, but I could see it happening. Alpha
Let's
7
go.
on the team that, or you get the best team in the world that can win PMWC, or you get a team that unfortunately can't even reach the PMWC finals. So it's a bit random what you get sometimes. I feel like you spin a wheel at the start of the tournament for Alpha 7, and that's the team you're going to get in the entirety of the event. But if I had to go for one team, I think is going to be a big upset here moving forward. Well, it's a tough one, man. This lobby's really stacked.
It's so stacked.
I do think Alpha Gaming would be the one to just fail in the Gauntlet and then just dominate in the harder stages where you need to be top 3 or top 2 in groups or last chance. So APG strike me as the one that's not going to make it.
Ooh,
You know, that's I wouldn't say that's a bad take, only because considering that they're hot dropping so hard, right? In military. I mean, that's the part that just kind of like, it's a big asterisk for me, right? Because I mean, we know what this team's capable of. Their roster is absolutely stacked to the teeth, right? So to see them hot dropping like this, if they don't make it here and now, right, and they go to the group stage, that is just going to tell every other team that this squad is predictable, right? That, you know what, they're hard-headed, they're not going to leave, they're not going to adapt, and when you have that advantage over so many other squads, Neptura, I mean, these guys are using any data piece they can to take an advantage, right? So if Alpha set, if they know that Alpha are not going to move Alpha Gaming, then I think that's a huge advantage.
Well, of course, especially when you think about APG being one of those top teams. I mean, they are one of the top teams in the world. They are, in my opinion, one of the
Oh my god, sponsor देखो बे DRX को कौन किया Porsche वाले बे
which side they're going to come from and how many there's going to be and what angles they're going to take. So if you can find the one predictable thing about them,
DRX
you're
GG
going to take advantage of that. You're going to change your strategy or tweak it or do something to try and knock them as far down as possible, because once that gets to the later stages, you're going to have a real problem with them.
OG बोलते बे
They need to be able to be adaptable so that they have that power over teams, so they still have that fear factor, because they might just start to lose it.
ये
Totally agree. But you know
एक
what?
भाई
Time before the
का
game
गुड्डा
starts.
साथ में है बे
I know, we have time to ask you.
लेकिन OG एकदम डिफरेंट बोलते ना प्रॉपर किट जर्सी वे यूनिक जर्सी भाई हेड्स ऑफ यार
Honestly, I'm gonna go with my team, the Wolves. Right? I love this squad. I'm gonna say that, and this is the reason why. Right? This Wolves team, it has been given myself and I think everybody the highest hopes for an NA team we have seen in years. Right? So when it comes to this squad, I am so confident in their abilities. We saw that wonderful push that we just saw a little bit earlier onto Xavier of all teams, right? And they win that fight, okay? At the same time, just knowing the whole logistics of what's going to be happening in the group stage with only so few spots available, I think you're leaving it to chance, right? I think Wolves are a good enough team to definitely make it to the grand finals. I just think that their percentage chance drops like down to 10% if they're going into the group stage. So I think for Wolves, I really want to see them clutch one of those 7 slots here. I mean, it's top 7 with how they're performing so far and how they're looking. I'm confident they're going to do that. So if for some reason they don't max, oh man, it's going to put me on the back foot big time. My hope's never going to die, okay? But I want to see it. You know what I'm saying?
A full-on support of NA, also known as near the airport. Maybe that'll be after this one. But looking at Wolves, actually, I was really happy, and you covered PMSL Americas, right, Hot Jukes, looking at how they played around the whole Gauntlet point system and rule set. I think it was so well executed. I feel like this team, and I think we talked about it a bit yesterday also during the rehearsal and scrims, if Wolves have a good day one, which as of right now, you know, topsy-turvy, fair to say, if they do have a good head start day one per day in these 6 matches, I do believe they will be able to make it top 7 at the end of the Gauntlet, because they play around the rule set so well that they know how to slow down or accelerate based on their position on the rankings and how far
कुछ टेक्निकल इशू आ गया रहेगा इसकी वजह से इतना डिले कर रहे हैं ये लोग
very important in the qualification stage in particular. So I do get your point again with Wolves, Hodges 100%, but I feel like today we can instantly tell if they have what it takes to be in the top 7 and go to the finals, or unfortunately if they are going to be making it into the group stage.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with just that push on the Xavier, it just showed me that, hey, you know what? These guys are not messing around, right? Because any team could have easily just sat back, right? All right, we'll wait for the next circle, and then we'll make a move from there. They didn't hesitate before the circle popped, and they pushed on a Xavier and won that fight. So for me, I'm like, for sure, I'm confident this team's gonna make it into the grand finals here and now. So after seeing that, for some reason, if they don't make it in the top 7, that means something went horrifically wrong, right? Something went happen with their mental.
ये इंसान नहीं है गाइस, इनके हाथ देखो गाइस, हाथ में टेप भी पे.
So that's the reason why for Wolves, I don't even want to even think when it comes to group stage. I just want to see them in the finals here now.
Yeah, and this is the thing that's so difficult, right? Especially for Wolves. I mean, yes, they've got individually a lot of global experience, but at the same time, they're a relatively new team to global. Let's just, put it that way, right? And I think that is the problem, or that's the concern we might have, is like, strategy-wise, really good team. They're holding their own. They've got those smart plays, like you said. They're doing their thing. The thing is that they have one bad day or a few bad games. I don't know how they would react to that. I don't know if they go, it just affects their mental way too much. And they go, okay, we're done. Or if they're able to.
ओजी को फर्स्ट डे और सेकंड डे, ये 2 दिन इनको अच्छा खेलना ही है गाइस, क्योंकि टॉप 7 आना है. क्योंकि लास्ट डे इनका जो डे 3 होता है ना, उसमें थोड़ा सा चोक करते हैं, बट होपफुली डे 3 में लोग का चोक ना हो. होप फॉर दी बेस्ट. लेट्स सी, देखते क्या होगा. कुछ टेक्निकल इशू हुआ है, इसकी वजह से टेक्निकल इश्यूज की वजह से गाइस थोड़ा डिले कर दिया गया है. ऐसा नहीं है गाइस, हर टूर्नामेंट में प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं, ऐसा नहीं है. कितने बड़े इवेंट को होस्ट करना, मैनेज करना, इज इट नॉट इजी, और ये एक पूरी टीम का काम होता है. और एक सक्सेसफुल इवेंट करने के लिए गाइस बहुत मेहनत करना पड़ता है, दिन रात काम करना पड़ता है. देन उसके बाद आप जाके सक्सेस होते हैं अपने काम में. सो थोड़ा सा चोक हो गया रहेगा, कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ी मिस्टेक आ गई रहेगी. कुछ इंटरनेट इशू हो, क्या हो, आई डोंट नो. लेट्स सी, देखते भी क्या होता है. लेट्स सी, देखते अभी क्या सीन है. लेट्स गो लोंडो. स्टार्ट हो रहा है, कमिंग सून स्टार्ट हो रहा है. मैच स्टार्ट हो रहा है, डोंट वरी. कमिंग सून, डोंट वरी. मैच स्टार्ट हो रहा, जल्दी होएगा. कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ गई, वो प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएगी जल्दी. लेट्स गो लोंडो, फटफट चलो, फटफट. 10 लाइक करवाओ बे गाइस, 10 लाइक तो करवाओ गाइस, फटफट 10 लाइक करवाओ. कम ऑन, लेट्स गो. 10 10
मेरे घर में 6 नहीं 5 कोई नहीं।
गाइस लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलिएगा, डोंट फॉरगेट प्रेस द बेल आइकॉन। गाइस फटफट 10 लाइक्स करवाओ बे, 10 लाइक्स तो करवा ही सकते हो, इतना तो कर ही सकते हो तुम लोग, मेरे लिए तो इतना प्यार तो दिखा ही सकते हो। आइए लेट्स गो, स्टार्ट हो रहा है, डोंट वरी, स्टार्ट हो रहा है, सब होएगा, सबका बदला लेंगे फैजल डॉन, सबका। गाइस लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलिएगा, डोंट फॉरगेट प्रेस द बेल आइकॉन। थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक्स फॉर कमिंग एवरीवन, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आने के लिए गाइस। जब तक हम लोग गेम खेल लेते हैं, अभी बहुत टाइम है, लेट्स गो, आ जाओ। आई थिंक कुछ ज़्यादा ही डेंजर वाली टेक्निकल इशू आ गई है गाइस, आई डोंट नो क्या आ गई है। लेट्स गो लॉन्डो, जब तक एक दो नूसा खेल लेते अपन अपना हाथ थोड़ा गर्म कर लेते, ग्राइंड कर लेते, थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस तो हो जाएगी अपनी। बीजीआई इसकी प्रैक्टिस तो करना पड़ेगा ना ब्रो, ग्राइंड फॉर बीजीआई लॉन्डो, लेट्स गो।
This is a simulation game set in a virtual world and does not represent real life. Please play in moderation, take frequent breaks, and play responsibly. I made the top 3 just now.
देख रहे हो तुम्हारे भाई का जंप शॉट, डीबीएस का फटका देख रहे गाइस। 2 people watching my stream, थैंक यू सो मच, मीन्स अ लॉट, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया भाई लोग आने के लिए। अभी चालू नहीं हुआ है यार, अभी पीएमजीसी का कुछ टेक्निकल इशू आ गया है गाइस, थर्ड मैच अभी चालू नहीं हुआ है। 2 people वाचिंग माय स्ट्रीम, थैंक यू सो मच गाइस। मैंने सोचा जब तक गाइस नूसा ही खेलते हैं, थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, लेट्स गो। ये लैग यार, ये लैग से तो अलग परेशान हूँ मैं। गन मिल इतना लैग क्यों कर रहा भाई, इतना लैग क्यों कर रहा भाई?
Awesome.
देख रहे हो, ये सब लैग में मैं खेल रहा हूँ भाई. लैग हो रहा था यार. विशी बंदा बाजू से गया. अच्छा मेरा ही बंदा है. मैं बोला ये कौन बंदा गया. ऊपर है ऊपर. पेटी भाई एक नंबर तो मार रहा. क्रेजी. मक्कर मक्कर.
ప్రమాదం పొంచుంది.
अरे मारना 2 नंबर. अरे यार गाइस थर्ड मैच स्टार्ट आई थिंक सो हो गया है. फटफट फाइट लेते. टू पीपल स्टिल वॉचिंग माई स्ट्रीम. थैंक यू सो मच मेरी जान. लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब करो भाई लोग. नाइस वन रे 3 नंबर. थर्ड मैच स्टार्ट भी हो गया गाइस. फटफट फटफट चालू खत्म करते इसको. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. ए शिट, वेयर बे? मार्क भी नहीं आ रहा. कहाँ से मार रहा? कोई है नियर बाय में? एग्जिट हो जाते यार. मार्क भी नहीं आया गाइस. किधर से मारा? चलो चलो.
Again, I think this is completely acceptable.
Let's go.
I think GS understands how stubborn APG
Once again,
is,
we are
and
back
APG
here,
are going to
guys.
keep up that spot. They're
Third
really proud
match.
team when it comes to
Irangle.
that sort of thing. I think for GS to be the first one to give it up is quite an achievement, I would say. And you'd expect it to happen here at our largest international. That gives them more chance at points. Top 7 is what most teams are going for. You could afford one bad game, I'd say. For GS, they decided their bad game was right there and then over towards Sosnovka, where they basically got nothing done because the fight dragged on for so long. I think it's a good call, and they get a decent.
देखते ये गेम
position
किसका चिकन
circle
होता
off the
है.
back of it as well.
Yeah, up on that north side, they can play out of Severny. It's about speed on that northern side because a lot of teams are going to be rotating through that area, right? They're going to be looking at that side to find it. I think we've got a little interview
The Gauntlet,
to
they won
check in with
RA.
RA.
Ida. I mean, Rondo was quite a performance, and you guys back it up here with the win. How are you feeling?
Great now. So we start in Rondo with good points. So in Arangel we must do the same.
Are we going to get more wins from you guys today?
Of course.
Ooh, easy.
Thank you very much. Confidence from RA.
Two people is still watching my stream. Thank you so much.
We'll see if they can keep that 10-point lead, or was it the circle helping them out? They'll have to prove themselves this time. They're starting in South George. They'll have to make their way across to the rest of the teams in the circle.
That they will.
Thank you so much, guys.
Here and
Thank
he
you.
was gone.
He's quick. He's in. He's out.
We missed him already. We missed him already.
Guys, like करो
Northeast
फटफट 10
side
लाइक
of the
करो
circle. Yes, not
फटफट 10
completely
लाइक करो
empty.
10 लाइक्स करो.
More Regnum Kai probably heading over that way, but making an assumption.
ये गेम के बाद स्ट्रीम इन करने वालों guys.
Max is saying that this is their second spot on the map anyway. This is not too big of a deal for them. Able to Severny. Honestly, I'd hope they would avoid the fight in South
अब
Africa.
देखते हैं ये गेम कौन कन्वर्ट करता है बे.
I don't think there's much reason not to go there. I think if you're getting a southern playing path, though, I imagine that, yeah, likely both teams will clash. But we'll see as the game progresses. Again, it's one of those things where I think having a free open drop spot is far better than clashing between a strong team like APG as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they, despite being able to win it that last time around, right? It's not guaranteed, and you do have huge chunks taken out. You almost guaranteed. Oh, the lone survivor from Orangutan from the last game. He's riding strong into this one. Let's see if they can make their way up. Currently, Orangutan making their way up from around Shelter, around the lumber yard at the top of the hill on the southeast side, and they're moving up to the east side of Yasnaya right now. They have got 2 players a lot further back, so I don't think they're going to be looking to take on Alpha 7 anytime soon. You can see them just over the hill, but they have stopped off in a pretty solid compound here. We'll give them a couple of opportunities, a couple of decisions to make, and options to rotate into the next stages of this game. A nice little foothold for them to be playing forwards. Hopefully they can do the same as last time and get into those later stages, but maybe with a few more players.
Possibly a few more points as well.
Drop clash नहीं हुआ क्या?
Who is a prestigious team overall.
Drop clash नहीं हुआ बे.
Background of being one of the most aggressive in the lobby. It is a
Drop clash होना चाहिए था
unfortunate
रोंडो.
seeing them play the way they have, but it's given them 9 points at least. But RA is quite clearly leading at 33. I think generally our average right now is probably about 18 points, right, across the board. So any team that's in around that 10-point region, it's not a massive jump you need to make to get over towards the top side, to get towards the top 7 position right now. But it's a case of holding on to that spot at the end of the day. Over towards northeast though, Kameshki split from Thunder Talks. That has been regrouped.
Drop clash होना चाहिए.
Now, who are on our screens.
लगता है ड्रॉप क्लैश नहीं हुआ. ड्रॉप क्लैश हुआ रहता ना, अब तक फाइट तो डेंजर वाली हो जाती गाइस.
Thunder Talks, I think, are realizing that they need to hold out on this eastern rotate.
Moving over on the northern side. One of the few players that can go toe-to-toe with Silas in terms of accolades in the PUBG Mobile world. He has got a storied history, although it has been a while since he sat atop the pack.
Let's
So
go.
Silas with a more recent dominant performance showing. we see if that clash continues to bear out this time around. So far, both Fire and Thundertalk doing well on the game so far. The first two matches have gone well for both of them. 23 points for Thundertalk. Kyle at 16. Still plenty more to prove themselves further, so we'll see what more they can do. DRX, again, another global
एपीजी ने 3 किल निकाल भी लिया है भाई. किसको मारी एपीजी? सॉरी. ये ओवरऑल स्टैंडिंग्स है गाइस. ओवरऑल स्टैंडिंग्स थी बे. समझ रहे तुम लोग?
Level 1 helmet, vest, the long journey from DRS getting towards the position. And honestly, from this spot, not
स्टेज 2 आने वाला है.
guaranteed a lot of looting capability unless they're able to shift on down on the south side of the lake there and pick up buildings. Matt Bulls planning shots on towards Silas, immediately removing him from the equation. That was an outpost and that was instantaneous. So Kaya loses a critical component of the team nice and early in this game.
Say nice and early, not nice for the fans from the Turkish region or for Kaya fans, but brilliant for everyone else around them. We'll see what they can do with 3 though. See if they continue to find some fights. Are they split? Is that Loxy all the way down on the south? I think it is. Oh dear, that is, I thought they were all up on the north side, and that might have been a lot better for them. The circle's just popped up there as well. Xavier, a large swath of that land to the southeast side of Saberni. Great for GS on that pop as well. The question is, can DX hold? Because they have faltered in their hold so far in both of the matches we've seen.
I mean, both times has been a little bit difficult getting backstabbed as well on the third party, but DX Xavier, they are pretty damn good team, honestly.
लेट्स गो देखते क्या सीन है अभी. कौन चिकन कन्वर्ट करता है? ओह माय गॉड, ओजी के पास जा रहे गाइस ये लोग. ओजी सामने ही है. गिरा दे. नाइस भी. साइलस को क्या गिराया भाई मेड वाले ने. PRX वर्सेस TT. अरे शिट आरू भाई. Oh shit, आरू भाई नॉक फिनिश. आरू भाई थोड़ा पैनिक हो जा रहे लौंडे अपने. लौंडे थोड़ा सा ही पैनिक हो रहे. निकल गए आतंकी और एक के भाई निकल गए. Where is Visgod वे? कोई बात नहीं, हो गए ये LF और TT. मारो यार. मजा आएगा भाई. चलो कंपाउंड तो ले लिए. DRX. ओ कौन आ गया है? सैंडविच हो गए सब. ये ओपन में उतर गया. पेट्रोल खत्म हो गया क्या? बच गया. जस्ट बचा भाई. मार डॉग भाई भी थोड़ा जल्दी एलिमिनेट हो जा रहे हैं. सुकून से नहीं खेलने मिल रहा डॉग भाई को. जियोल आई थिंक इन लोगों का वो है, IGL है. रिफ्यूज डॉग टॉप. वेयर इज ओजी? ओजी आई थिंक सर्कल में नहीं है. सॉरी ओजी ने मिडल ले लिया भाई. सर्कल का फेयर ओजी पे है बे. लेट्स गो. हो गया फाइट हो गया. मेड की और TT की हो गई. मार दो ओजी वाले. कंपाउंड लेने मत देना. ओजी वाले कंपाउंड लेने मत देना TT को. नाइस नाइस नाइस, अरे नाइस मेरी जान एक के। हाँ अरे किल चोरी हो गई, किल चोरी हो गई गाइस, किल चोरी हो गई।
They thought the position, you're right about them holding on to these spots, but Xavier, the rest of the back row is coming in through thick and fast, but a good step up from Singh there.
Can't quite find the crossfire for the Xavier. Now a nade in hand for Xing. There's two players in action on the inside here, AJ and Xing, both holding one door frame as Paragin. Nade as well. The Xavier are cut down to 2 and are rated here to play. Current lobby leaders, they want another piece of the pie. And in they go. 4 players alive on side. They push on up and 3 players down.
फाइट हो गई भाई, टीटी और आरएटी की फाइट हो गई।
And they get the heal off as well. This is going to be crucial.
एजे गए, एजे भाई गए, ये भी गए, गई टीटी। टीटी अच्छा 3 टीम की फाइट हो रही है, डीएक्स भी है।
Time to third party. You're not really third party. You're just
डाल
entering the fray.
गया ये फुटा, पाराजिन फुटा। क्यों भाई इतना ओवर, इतना थोड़ी। अरे नाइस आतंकी भाई, अरे नाइस आतंकी भाई, एपीजी को मारे फिर किल चोरी। 17 एक नंबर किल मिल गई, किल मिल गई गाइस। अबे क्या अपॉर्चुनिटी है बे ओजी को #2 आने के लिए। इजी भाई इजी, अगर वो किल चोरी नहीं होती तो 18 पॉइंट हो जाता। मारो 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 मारो। आरेट वाले 2 टीम को, आरेट वाले अच्छा खेल रहे थे भाई। 2 people watching my stream, thank you so much, means a lot मेरी जान। गाइस लाइक करो बे, लाइक करो, लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलिएगा। 10 लाइक्स करो, 10 लाइक्स 10 लाइक्स 10 लाइक्स।
Yeah, I think that what we're kind of missing from all of this is that they took down 2 teams in that process, right? Very, very quickly as well. So there's no really
ओजी वाले भाई मारो।
Not only that, they clear a massive amount of space around the area, which you can see right here. Thank you very much for bringing this everyone's attention, but you can see right there, there's just so much space that now they have cleared in that position.
अबे ओजी का सर्कल है भाई, फिर से एक बार अगर सर्कल फेवर कर दिया ओजी को और कोई टीम रश नहीं करी मतलब सर्कल लेने के लिए, तो ओजी चिकन कन्वर्ट कर सकती है, क्योंकि तीनों फ्रैगर हैं। विज गॉड, एकेओपी, आतंकी पाजी, आरो भाई तो फिनिश हो गए। लड़ लो जीएस वाले लड़ लो, मारो 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 मारो, एके मारो। अबे लोग कहाँ चले गए, गए डीआरएक्स वाले लोग को मार देंगे, डीआरएक्स वाले मार देंगे। हो गई पार्टी, इन लोग की हो गई, फाइट हो गई डीआरएक्स और इसकी। मार डाल ऊपर, डाल ऊपर, डाल उठा, बच गया। 3 people watching my stream, thank you so much, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया भाई। लाइक करो बे, स्ट्रीम को लाइक करो, एक लाइक और चाहिए, 10 लाइक होना चाहिए। मार 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 मार, ए नाइस, ओ नाइस यार, डीआरएक्स लेते रहो भाई, फाइट लेते रहो भाई। ओजी भाई एटलीस्ट अगर जल्दी एलिमिनेट हो गए बट 2-3 पॉइंट और ले लो बे, 20 तक तो टच करो एटलीस्ट। #7 बने रहो बस, आज का दिन #7 में रहो, अंडर #7 के रहो। करी लो अल्फा 7 कारा, बहुत ओपन में है रही है, रश हो गया। वो क्रेजी, क्रेजी 1v3 कर दिया भाई इसने तो। नाइस वे अल्फा 7 ऑब्सक्योर, हेड्स ऑफ यू ब्रदर, 1v3 मार दिया वे इसने तो। अरे ना, अरे रे मेरे को लगा ओजी वाला। अच्छा ओजी थोड़ा डाउन रिच पे है बे, डाउन रिच पे है। 3 छोटे कंपाउंड है उनके पास बस। वोल वाले देखते क्या होता है। अल्फा 7 फॉर्म में है गाइस, अल्फा 7 अच्छा खेल रही है। ओ हो गया लोग का वोल्स वर्सेस ये हो गया भाई, 1 HP कर दिया बे। अरे नहीं जल्दी, अबे ओपन में बन गया सर्कल, सर्कल ओपन में बन गया। अब थोड़ा टफ हो जाएगा इन लोग के लिए। अब यहाँ पे फाइट लेना ही पड़ेगा। थोड़ा सा सर्कल फेवर करता ना इन लोग के साइड 40% और, तो ये लोग कन्वर्ट कर सकते थे मे बी। 3 people स्टिल वॉचिंग माय स्ट्रीम, थैंक यू सो मच मेरी जान। भाई सब्सक्राइब करो भाई, लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब करो मेरी जान। कमेंट करो, कमेंट करो, लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब करो।
They've had it for a while. They couldn't really control too much on the rotate. Certainly not from GS and now Alpha 7 going to try.
अबे मारो।
Tulica sprays towards them again, just not connecting, not even taking shots anymore. The pusher.
कल मारेगा क्या? अच्छा लास्ट वाले को मार रहा है। पुशर भाई क्या किया आपने? एक को तो डाउन कर सकते थे। ओ अल्फा 7 वर्सेस एपीजी। अबे लोग भी पानी में जा रहे हैं। हाँ पानी में, अच्छा पानी में सर्कल नहीं है भाई। भाई 10 लाइक करवाओ बे, 1 लाइक तो करो एटलीस्ट, फट से करो ना 1 लाइक। 3 people watching my stream, thank you so much मेरी जान। आरेड वर्सेस वुल्स की फाइट। ओ क्रेजी क्रेजी। ओजी निकल नहीं सकती ना अपने रेस से, अपने कंपाउंड से निकल नहीं सकती। छोटा कंपाउंड और निकलेंगे तो उन लोग को बैक साइड से पड़ जाएगा। साइड लाइन में भी बंदे हैं तो उन लोग थोड़ा दिमाग से खेल रहे गाइस। मार फोड़ फुट 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 फुट। ये के पास क्या अपॉर्चुनिटी थी, 1-2 बम फोड़ देते ना, दोनों लोगों को जाते थे। ए फुटा फुटा फुटा, बोला ना फुटा, एक और फुटा। अबे मुंह पे आके डाल दिया बे, मुंह पे आके डाल दिया। अच्छा इधर एक, अबे किल मिस कर रहे हैं लोग। डीआरएक्स ले गए। नाइस वन नाइस वन। उजी ने नॉक किया एक, उजी ने एक बंदा नॉक किया। 1 नंबर, 1 पोजीशन पॉइंट मिल गए गाइस। 18 पॉइंट हो गया, 18 किलो 18 पॉइंट हो गया गाइस। 1 किलो और मिल गया है। गए फुटा। ए डालना गया ये तो भाई, इसको फाइट लेना ही पड़ेगा नहीं तो जोन से ही मर जाएगा। बोलो ना जोन से मर गया। लेट्स गो बे। #7 आ गए, ले लो फाइट। डीआरएक्स वर्सेस जीएस का फाइट हो गया ना, #6 आ जाएंगे। अपने लोंडे लोग अभी फाइट ना ले तो सही है। प्लेसमेंट पॉइंट भी ठीक ही है गाइस, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं उसमें। आरेड का 1 प्लेयर बाकी है।
They're on the south side of this one. In the meantime, TRX, GS, after GS's mad dash. Into conflict.
एक गेम अच्छा कन्वर्ट कर लिया ना अपने लौंडे लोग, मजा आ जाएगा। अगर अभी भी 3-4 किल निकालते हैं, अभी तीनों टॉप फ्रैगर है भाई, फ्रैगर ही बोलते, तीनों अपने डेंजर वाले फ्रैगर है। अल्फा 7 की फाइट हो गई, एक नंबर किल उठा लिया, नॉक। अरे नाइस, एक और किल उठाया, नॉक, उठा किल उठाओ, नाइस वन। ओजी ने 2 किल और उठा लिया गाइस, नाइस, एक और उठा लिया। अरे आतंकी पाजी क्या हो जा रहा, एक ही किल मिली बे। आतंकी पाजी पैनिक हो जा रहे यार आप। कम ऑन गाइस, यू कैन डू इट। ले लो। जीएस जोन के बाहर है। मार टीआरएक्स मारो। गया, फूटा, गए लोग, गया। जीएस जाफर भाई गए। अरे नाइस, ओ दूर से पड़ गए। अल्फा 7 ने मार दिया, बचा लिया भाई इसको। अभी निकल, अच्छा जाना ही पड़ेगा ना, क्या कर सकते। ओ अल्फा 7, बोला ना अल्फा 7 का चिकन है। ओ भाई अल्फा 7 वर्सेस ओजी, क्रेजी, मजा आ जाएगा भाई। लास्ट जोन बोला, अरे गिरा दिए रे मेड। आई थिंक इन लोग को, ये वाले लोग को ओजी की पोजीशन नहीं मालूम है। हो गई फाइट हो गई। फुटा, बोला ना फुटा, बोला ना मैं फुटा। ओजी को जो ड्रॉप दिख रहा है ना, ड्रॉप वाले लोकेशन पे जाना चाहिए। लेकिन अच्छा खेल रहे बे। हैशटैग 2, 3, 4, 5 ऐसे मतलब टॉप 5 में आ रहे हैं अपने लौंडे। बैक टू बैक 3 मैच में टॉप 5 में आए हैं। हैशटैग टॉप 3 में। ये वाले फाइट ले लो भाई, ये वालों। अगर ये वाले A7 से फाइट ले ली, अरे नहीं पाजी, नहीं ओवर एग्रेशन नहीं। अरे नाइस वन पाजी, सर्कल ले लिए हैं पाजी। फोड़ दो एक को पाजी, फोड़ दो एक को, फोड़ो। नाइस पाजी, नाइस ट्राई यार। जी वाले दिखा तो जरा जैसे ग्रेनेड फोड़ते थे तुम लोग। पूरा ये लोग PMGC भी खेलेंगे ये वाले। शी बे फंस गए अपने लौंडे। अपने लौंडे को सर्कल फेवर नहीं किया। सॉरी PMGC नहीं, PMWC, पबजी मोबाइल वर्ल्ड चैंपियन, वर्ल्ड कप जो भी। ये आई ना भाई। अरे अल्फा 7, अब ये अल्फा 7 काम खराब करेगी ओजी का। ए फुटा, अरे बच गया। अब आई ना ग्रेनेड के बाहर। हे फुटा, बोला ना ये अल्फा 7 मैच खराब करेगी। बोला था मैं, एक को फोड़ेंगे लोग। गए अल्फा 7 रश कर दी। अल्फा 7 इको मार। अरे साले कमीनो, गया पाजी, गया, फुटा, एक फुटा। नाइस, मेरे को मालूम है भाई, अल्फा 7 मैच खराब कर दी। नाइस, बचा अभी भी बचा। हाँ, ये वाले लो भी, ये वाले फाइट लो। अच्छा, दो इधर फाइट ले रहे, दो उधर। नॉक करो, नॉक करो, नॉक करो, एक को तो नॉक करो अल्फा 7 के। अगर ये वाले अल्फा 7 के एक के भी नॉक किए ना, मजा है। अरे रे ओके भाई, ये के भाई ओपन में स्पॉट हो गए। अरे नाइस, रिवाइव हो गया बाजी। अरे यार, ये वाले आ भी नहीं रहे ना। मार मार विजगॉड, इसको गिरा। अरे नाइस है विजगॉड। गया, गए 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 गए। आ जाओ, आ जाओ, ये वाले आ जाओ, ये वाले आ जाओ। गए गए गए। #3 आए। बोला ना गए। कोई ना हार्ड लक, हार्ड लक, हार्ड लक। आए अपन कितना 3-4 पॉइंट मिला है। 23-24 पहुंच गए गाइस अपन। अल्फा 7 का चिकन। नाइस बे, नाइस अल्फा 7। लेट्स गो लॉन्डो। कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं। अपन #3 आए। अच्छी पोजीशन पॉइंट भी मिला, 3 या 4 पोजीशन पॉइंट भी मिला है। वेल प्लेड गाइस, वेल प्लेड, वेल प्लेड। चलो गाइस, बस टॉप 7 में रहना चाहिए गाइस। मेरे को थोड़ा काम आ गया, इसकी वजह से मैं स्ट्रीम इन कर रहा हूँ। थैंक यू सो मच एवरीवन, जितने लोग भी स्ट्रीम पे आए, जितने लोग ने लाइक किया, शेयर किया, सब्सक्राइब किया, जितने लोग भी लाइव चैट पे आए, थैंक यू सो मच, मींस अ लॉट। थैंक्स फॉर कमिंग, लव यू ऑल, लव यू ऑल। होप फॉर दी बेस्ट गाइस। आगे के भी 3 मैच जो बचे हैं, एरेंगल, मिरामार और मिरामार, तीनों मैच होप फॉर दी बेस्ट अच्छे जाएं ओजी के। और ओजी एक अच्छा गेम बड़ा निकाले, अच्छा चिकन डिनर के साथ एक बड़ा गेम निकाले गाइस। लेट्स गो, होप फॉर दी बेस्ट गाइस। टॉप 7 में, आज डे 1 में टॉप 7 में रहे। दैट्स इनफ, दैट्स इट, खत्म भाई, इतना इनफ है। लेट्स गो, बाय बाय गाइस, सी यू, लव यू ऑल, लव यू ऑल। थैंक्स फॉर कमिंग यार, थैंक यू सो मच, लव यू ऑल।